You want to live hard? You want to live clean? You want to live optimized? We know there's one company that does not compromise. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, are you rapping right now, dude?
Yeah, I'm rapping right now.
You must be on Alpha Brain. You must be talking about On It, bro.
On It's got everything.
Yes, dude. Onit.com/fighter. Little Alpha Brain, little new mood. Maybe you want some
melatonin spray if you want to sleep better.
Yeah, man. How about some creatine so you can get jacked city?
Or how about Shroom Tech Immune? Or how about just Shroom Tech in general if you want to work out extra?
How about a little krill oil to get that skin right?
Literally everything you want, including exercise.
What about fitness gear? They got it. Check. You want some Star Wars On It kettlebells? You want battle
ropes,
bags, balls, clubs, maces? How about you need a training program? We got that. On It 6 kettlebell, On It 6 steel mace. They got it all streaming easy. Apparel, shirts, shorts, backpacks, socks, performance gear. Onit.com/fighter. 10% off. Get you some. Hey, B, there's a lot of tools out there that track your heart rate. They might do a thing here or there. Maybe you're on a bike like I am. I'm like, damn, I'm burning 1,000 calories.
Right.
But I'm not, dude.
Yeah.
Or how about you think you're getting good rest? You think you're doing the things right. You think you got a good diet, but you're not really tracking it.
Right.
You're not tracking with the best device possible.
You mean you're talking about Whoop, which is a performance tool, change the way people track their fitness and optimize their training? It really is kind of amazing. I mean, before I even knew about it, you were wearing it. And I said, you were comparing it to other
I've had a bunch of
watches, yeah. And you said that this was the best by far.
By far the best.
So you were a customer before this became something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whoop is a performance tool. You get a Whoop strap, which is a heart rate monitor that measures your heart rate 100 times per second, 24/7.
Calories burned, all that stuff.
24/7.
Yeah.
You can charge it while you're wearing it. You don't even take it off. You just put on the little battery. It charges it. Usually lasts about 5 days. Mine lasts a little longer.
So 5 days without a charge.
Yeah. So what's Whoop measure? Like, what am I going to do though? Your recovery. Look at your heart rate. It makes sure you're getting the right rest. If you're not, it's letting you know your strain, how well you're working out. It checks your resting heart rate, max heart rate, calories burned, the amount of exertion you're putting out throughout the day, your sleep.
Yep.
Monitors all that REM, deep light. It does all that, man. It provides all these insights down to the nitty gritty. And you got to get the new Whoop 3.0 strap. That's what you need to do. Go to Whoop. Go to whoop.com. Whoop, there it is. WHOOP.com. Use the code FIGHTER at checkout. Save $30 to optimize the way you train. Again, that's whoop.com. Promo code FIGHTER for $30 off the way you got to do it right to track your training. Get to Shred City.
Shred
Keto
City
kids.
with Whoop.
What's this? Let's do it.
I've been wearing makeup all week.
Dude, you're prickly today.
Believing I'm fucking prickly, dude.
Are you prickly because you were wearing makeup all week or because you're not with makeup?
I'm prickly.
miss it?
I'm prickly and I'm bristly. And I'll tell you this. Hey, internet. I'm sick and tired. And when my voice gets deep, you know I'm dead serious.
Yes.
I'm sick and tired of you guys suggesting I'm old.
Rings?
Rings, tartan ass, and fucking look at the dents and lines in his face. Some of the comments are so funny. People are just so ruthless
Rings
about me
is my
being
favorite.
old. This is why my dad shouldn't have a smartphone.
Dude, whenever I post a picture with you, it's just
Oh
like,
my
can you
God.
guys chill a tad on Calvin?
I don't
You
even
and your
read,
dad, bro. Sweet pic.
I don't read the comments, but now I read them to see how mean they can be. And it's just, you got a head like an insurance salesman, you fucking asshole. It's just crazy shit, man. I don't know. It's the meanest, funniest shit.
Dude, I want you to apologize to the Fire and Kid listeners for doing a podcast on Thursday.
I want to
apologize to everybody.
I've been on set doing reshoots. Daddy had a lot of pretending to do this week.
A lot of pretending. Daddy makes bank pretending.
Daddy makes bank pretending.
Hey, your girl Haley came to my set.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love her.
I know. I was like, you should have fucking, because she texted me and goes, hey, at your show tonight, but I was on stage, so I didn't see it till I got off. I'm like, God, who is this?
Yeah.
And I text her, who dis? D-I-S. Who dis? Girl?
Who dis?
With an eggplant emoji. Just kidding. Just put
eggplant.
Who dis? Eggplant.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, Haley. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
She said hi.
She's a good girl. Great gal. Talented.
You were shooting Goldbergs or School?
I was shooting Schooled. A lot of on-location football stuff. And what was really
Does it feel
funny,
foreign to you to be on a football field?
I I got, I have speed. By the way, 40 yards is much longer than I gave it credit for. Like people say I run a 4, whatever. That's a really long, like if you're not used to it, it's actually very long looking to me.
Yeah, it's not short.
No, you're like,
that's why it's stupid.
Like throwing a football 40 yards is not that easy. It's not a given.
Easy.
Maybe, but I mean,
yeah, but the thing is, it's stupid to make linemen run 40-yard dashes.
Because they never run a 40-yard dash. Make them run side to side, but
it should just be 10-yard dash for the fat boys.
Right.
10 yards.
Like why a 40? But now the football field. Well, all the extras were there, and they're all the football players, some big kids, and then there was a guy who was not only huge but impossibly muscular. And this is supposed to be high school.
I bet you didn't talk to him at all.
I walked up to him and I went,
"Hey, there you go."
I go, "You look like a pro football player."
Yeah, sure.
You can't fit in this. He goes, "I was." He goes, "I was." I go, "Oh, you were?" He goes, "Yeah, I played for the Cardinals." I go, "Okay." And so I go, "What'd you play?" And he goes, "Defensive tackle." And I'm just crazy, just
white kid or black kid?
White kid, and just a monster. And obviously, they're looking at the camera and they go, "Well, that doesn't make sense." I mean, everybody's big, but
he's too big.
He just looks like a
He's an
fucking
outcast.
pro athlete. He's an outcast. He's like,
so did they cut him from the scenes?
yeah, he couldn't. Yeah,
for being too
great
big?
guy. Name is Lath. His cousin or brother, I think it's his cousin, is in the WWE. He plays. I can't remember the guy's name. I should know it. He's kind of a famous guy, but it comes from just a giant family. They're all like these.
And he's trying to get into acting.
Yeah, just a good guy, just a good fucking guy,
But
like
not
a regular
that day.
dude.
Had to cut him.
Yeah,
Too big.
no. See you later. Well, no, sir. You're huge.
You're gonna distract from the acting.
And unmistakably looks like a real athlete. Like you're like, oh, Jesus.
We played
Christ.
for the Cardinals for a hot second.
Yeah. Let me see.
We're gonna have Brian guess which one it is. Talk about a terrible game.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea.
Randy Orton, maybe?
Oh no, his dad.
All of them.
His dad's Mick Foley. That's cool.
Kurt Angle,
Let's
man.
move on.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, his dad's Booker T.
Do you watch
Dude,
any pro wrestling?
Excuse me.
Sorry, dumb question.
No one does in here. Chin, I gotta be honest. I'm surprised you don't watch pro
Why?
wrestling.
I gotta be
don't
honest,
know.
I'm surprised.
I just feel like it might be a little bit of your flavor.
Hell no. As a kid, baby, yeah.
Yeah, as
that's
a
it.
kid, I did.
Yeah.
And you grow up and you're like, I'm all set.
It must be a blast to do, although it's physically
You
so
think?
demanding.
I don't think it's a blast.
Kurt Angle told me
find
that he
it
had
in-
more injuries from pro wrestling by far than wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. He's also
Broke his neck.
older and like jumping off fucking ladders
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
I find it, I respect what they do and I know it's hard. I find it so embarrassing when I watch it. When they like have the wrist all, I'm like, oh, dude, that guy's 40 acting like that.
But the best is the guy who uses his dong when he'll put your hand on his dong and he flips you. You've seen it. What?
In the
Hold
WWE,
on. What? Yeah. He's got, yeah.
does he have dong power or something like that?
Have you not seen this awesome guy? He's the greatest of all time.
No, I don't watch any wrestling.
He's a famous wrestler.
Crotch?
Yeah, he throws you. What's his name?
WWE wrestling
Zack Ryder?
touches cross.
Zack Ryder.
I don't know. Ooh.
Damn, I'm not mad at her.
No, nor should you be.
This is a Q&A. Dude, the WWE Diva girls are hot enough to make me
Yeah, there
watch
he
it.
is. There he is.
Is that
And
him?
he throws dudes. He throws
Look at his
dudes.
face.
Put Zack Schneider throwing dudes with his crotch. This is his move.
I'm sure we should just put, whatever his name is, throwing dudes. Especially if it's Dick is his move, it's going to pop up.
Yeah, he's a stud. And this is real.
Will the fans be able to see
This
any of
is
this shit?
real.
Not really.
No.
This is real, dudes.
Are you sure it's Zack Ryder?
I don't know. I have no,
Yeah,
it's
all just... It's all just malarkey, isn't it? It's just all...
says you, but I think a lot of it's true.
It's so strange.
I don't know what the guy's name is. He's awesome.
Now Cain Velasquez is doing it, enjoying it.
Good for him.
I know
Yeah.
Colby Covington wants to eventually get into it. I think Chael. There's just a lot of guys.
A lot of money.
Like guys mess with it. There's not a lot of money. Again, it's like the UFC. Only the top guys are making money. If you talk to any of the
Right.
WWE guys, even the real famous ones, like, dude, until you get to a certain level, you're not making a ton of money.
Actually,
It's just like
I actually
every
know
other
that.
sport.
Yeah, if I thought about it, I know
And
that.
they're on the road 300 days a year. Like you're not. You're not Scrooge McDuck rich unless you're The Rock or Batista or like
Right.
a different level. And even The Rock now in his movies has to be Dwayne Johnson because
Yes.
WWE owns the name The Rock.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they get a certain percentage whenever he uses The Rock.
The Rock. What would your name be if you were? I know what mine would be.
Big Brown.
Big Brown. What if you couldn't use Big Brown? I got to get some royalties on that. Got to wet my beak.
Yeah, you'd
that
have to
happen.
wet your beak. You'd be Little Rink.
Little.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
I'd be Little Rink.
Yeah, you're the Rinks. Rinks.
I'm Rink.
Rink.
Rinkies. Wrinkles.
Well, just wrinkles. But then the crowd yells, Rinks, Rinks.
Wrinkles
Rinks,
and
Rinks."
dents. Wrinkles and dents. Wrinkles and dents.
Nope, just wrinkles.
No. But I feel like I'm also small, so I'd have to have baby in there. Or
No. Oh, no. You're not a real wrestler. You're like the guy who's like, oh yes, my precious.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
With the Undertaker,
Yeah.
you're the pallbearer. You're my pallbearer.
I am.
Big Brown and Rinks.
I don't like this. I don't.
You know,
really-
put you in a suit, whatever. You just there.
I don't like it.
You just yell weird shit from the
Brian,
sidelines.
you fucking suit. Come on. Like in an alternate universe,
Can you
made all the
imagine
wrong.
that?
Brian made
How
all the wrong
disappointing
choices.
would that be?
Made all the wrong choices. Yeah, give me a second, man. Fuck. I can't afford fucking blows, so I'm snorting Adderall.
Dude, can you imagine what a life that is? Like Penn and Teller, which one doesn't talk? Is it Teller? You think that guy hates his fucking life? Like he's just like, oh, dude, I gotta do this again.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, don't talk. He's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's your gimmick, right? That's your
All the time.
when you have a gimmick.
That you have to stick with.
Yeah, when you have a routine. Yeah, that's your shtick. They used to call it a shtick. No.
Like he looks like you can tell he's dying inside on the right.
Well, they're just
Maybe it's
getting
the brains of
older.
the operation.
They've made a lot of money, I guess.
Oh, a ton of money.
Yeah.
That's when Penn was thick.
He
boy.
was thick. He was
Oh
a
my
big-
God, 400 pounds. I think.
Was he that fat?
He's tall, man.
Very tall.
But he's vegan now, so he's real skinny.
Well, all right. Yeah, he's a lot skinny.
Think how long they've been doing entertainment, dude.
Long time, man. Long time. They're great, and so
Yeah,
is
they're I heard. I've never been to their show because hate
Yeah.
Vegas shows, but
Yeah.
I heard it's great.
I'm sure it is. They're great. The
Carrot Top's a
the
beast.
Smothers Brothers. Remember them?
No, I don't.
They were
Yeah.
amazing. They were
Blue Man Group.
hilarious. Blue Man Group. I saw. They pulled me on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you splash some paint?
I was there at the same night that Jeff Goldblum was there. We were both brought up on stage.
Did you splash paint around?
I didn't. I was put in the mold.
It's a.
You know what's funny about this story? Fucking hilarious.
with the Blue Man Group?
You know how they put you in that gel?
Never been again.
What's funny is
again,
that
dude, we don't know what you're talking about. We've never. been
Okay,
there.
so what's funny about it is that that's something that you would definitely remember. As I tell the story, I was brought up on stage. As I tell the story, though, I can't remember if that happened to me or if they did something else with me. I don't know if I'm lying. It was
Yeah,
that long ago. I'm not kidding. And I'm not. I was brought up on stage. I have a witness to it, but I can't remember what I did. I can't remember if I
I believe you
saw.
were brought on stage. Are you looking? Hold on, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
You think it was the Blue Man Group? It was David Copperfield, and you ended up on an island.
That's
sucking cock.
what it was.
Remember?
That's what it was.
Did he get out of the whole Me Too thing?
Yeah.
Or is he still making things disappear? You feel me?
Yeah, I think he got out of it.
Is he?
Yeah. He just
Because
did
just
it.
his billboards everywhere, dude. I heard that Chris Angel's show is to die for.
Really?
I heard it's good. He's been doing it for a hot second.
Yeah.
He just looks so preposterous. He looks so. It's like, dude, Affliction ended a long time ago.
Yeah,
dude.
he's very happy with his torso, with his hold up jeans. Let's see him here.
Looks better.
His hair. But again, you know how much bank that dude's making? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. When
You
you
know,
rest your head on that pillow,
I was gonna say,
and you got fucking.
I
He looks cool there.
yeah, but I was gonna say that's right. Well,
Chen, don't go to the cool one of them. Go to the ridiculous one of them.
he would go to David
mind
Blaine.
freak.
He would go to David Blaine when David Blaine would do his
Yeah.
public spectacles. He would go there and hand out his card. He was a hustler. I mean, he made his.
Oh, dude,
gotta
he has
respect
talent
him.
for
I bet
sure.
you we'd like him.
I bet he's awesome.
I bet you we'd end up liking the dude. I bet he's. I mean, you can't. Again, exactly. He's very good at what he does. Stays in shape, handsome dude. You know, a little silly, but why not? Why not? Why if you're built like that? Why not wear chains and and break up.
Mind freak.
He's got great eyes.
He looks like your friend.
Frank
Grillo.
Grillo?
Yeah.
He looks like Frank's more sensitive, less muscular brother.
No. He looks like Frank's emo little brother.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like emo Frank Grillo.
What's his? Look up his nationality. I'm going to say Italian.
I'm going to say Black Magic.
Yeah, he might be from Mordor, but he's good. I've seen some of the shit he does is really good, man.
Have you been to a show?
But I want to see what his religion is or where he's
Damn, he has a bunch of kids.
Oh, he's Greek. He's Greek.
Says Greek.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Angel's Greek. Come on.
Christopher Nicholas Kakos or whatever.
Damn, he's 51, dude.
Wow.
He looks good.
Yeah, he looks good.
Originally
He's
born
Greek.
in New York.
The Greeks are some of the
Dude,
best
he's
looking
from New
people in the
York.
world.
He's
Yeah.
from New York.
The Greeks are very good looking people.
What a hustler,
He's
dude.
my age, 51.
You know what I was watching last night? If you haven't seen it, the 30-30 on Dennis Rodman.
Uh-huh.
And he talks about how I was falling a little asleep in this, but he was in Detroit, right? He grew up kind of weird, and then he got drafted by the Detroit Pistons. Was doing his thing, but he was like real shy. And then he thought he was going to be there forever because he never really had a family. He felt like the team was his family. So that team dispersed because it's professional sports. No one stays together forever. He's there for 7 years. Goes from there to the San Antonio Spurs, and then it's finally like, oh, I'm going to be myself. So he starts dyeing his hair. He starts wiling the fuck out, doing things, hanging out at gay clubs, wearing dresses, makeup. And he talks about a little about, I think, being bisexual.
Oh,
Being bisexual and like having fantasies about having sex with dudes.
good for him.
And then I saw some screenshot, and because my brother was the biggest Dennis Rodman fan, he had the shoes, the green ones. They call him the Worm. And there's this screenshot that goes, Dennis Rodman talks about being bisexual or gay, or something like that. And so I screenshot, sent to my brother, and go, favorite player growing up? Do you know he's gay? And my brother's like, no way. I'm like, yeah, dude. You don't wear a dress to sell a book and just be cool with it, and not have some dicks in your mouth.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Go back up. That was him back in the day, huh? Right there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
When he was with Detroit. Bring it up. What he talked about being bisexual before I misquote him?
I also heard he had a son, and then his son...
No, daughter.
Hey, come... Who's that?
The Malco worker. He had a daughter and it just wasn't around. She goes up, she's like, I didn't have a dad. Like, he thought by just sending toys and shit he was being a dad.
Well, I heard that he lost custody of the child or something. I don't know what it is.
No, you got to watch the documentary, B, because you don't have to hear anymore. He tells you. He tells you, like, yeah, I just wasn't there.
Oh.
Like, got a divorce from the mom. Like, he starts crying about it.
Of course. Yeah, I'm sure he's a very, very... he's an odd guy, but he's a very sensitive guy.
Scroll up a little bit. Sometimes being out of control, hon. I think the worst thing I was... I think the worst things that I was doing that people called bad, me drunk driving or me going to jail, was the best thing that happened to me, and then all the good things happened. For better or worse, because I was building this individual, building a brand. One thing I was proud of back then, I actually brought the gay community to the forefront of sports because of things I was doing. I did Sports Illustrated cover where I went in a bathing suit and had makeup on and stuff like that, and I was flamboyant when I was doing it and stuff like that. People are like, wow, this guy, because he's not afraid to go out of the box. I just think the percentage-wise in sports, I think there's probably more bisexual than gay in sports. I'm sorry, guys, exposed everybody. I wish all of them would come out acceptable today. Hold up. I don't know any man on this planet that don't go into the shower and look at another man. I don't know any man that don't do that. Gay or not gay, I don't care who you are. A man's going to look at another man. I don't give a damn how you look at it. He's not gay, though, but you got pride of that image. Interesting.
Well, of course I do.
Yeah, but I don't look at that man and go, man, I wish his dick was in my butt.
Right.
Different animal.
Yeah. I mean, you do, but sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we all know you're a 51-year gay man. It's well documented.
It's well documented
Yes.
that I
We can go back
gravitate to
and
the best of the
listen.
men in the room.
Yeah, but to me, it was so obvious. Like, he wears a straight-up wedding dress, dude. Like, that's not...
He's
Like, there's a tension. There's just, all right.
so
not that I give a
what
flying.
was the idea of how did it all change? He always wanted to kind of be like, he probably was always into fashion, always into decoration,
Not
right?
I
mean,
no, he talks like it's almost like he built this. Dennis Rodman opens up his relationship with gay men. So he was dating Madonna for a little bit. Then she wanted a baby, and he broke up with her.
What about? I like when athletes now. I can understand when athletes. So people are talking about how Odell Beckham wore a $250,000 watch.
Yeah. Well, he didn't pay for it though.
Right, and I was like, well, that's a great marketing thing. Whatever he did to
it's
do it,
silly.
we're talking about
Here's
it.
the problem, and he's one of my favorite players. But here's the problem: you're not winning, so it's a distraction.
You're not winning, so it's a distraction.
If you're winning, you can wear that. If you're Mahomes and you're balling, you can do that stuff. But when you do that stuff, you're not winning. Then it's just a distraction to the team, especially when your team didn't execute, they weren't disciplined, and then you're doing this. Like that ain't the time to do it, man. There's a time to do it. That ain't the time.
What is this? Is that really him?
It looks like him.
All right.
Yeah, no, I don't think Rodman says he's.
No,
gay.
he doesn't say he's gay.
No,
He says he doesn't care. If
I think he's
anyone's
bi.
gay.
I think he's bi.
He's bisexual. Yeah.
He says that, right?
He mentioned bisexual.
Yeah, like you don't wear all that shit. Like you don't.
Let me go to the other quote where it says bisexual, or maybe he just likes bisexual people. I don't know.
It's very possible he's not gay.
Right here, it's.
I don't think he's gay. I think he's bi. You don't wear dresses and do all
Whatever
that
he is,
shit.
he's just complicated.
Oh, he's just talking about bisexual athletes.
Yeah, it sounds like
So
he's just talking about him.
No,
he's 58.
Again,
Wow,
again,
he's 58.
fellas, you got to listen to the documentary because he says out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's bi.
he does say that.
Yeah, he says he's had fantasies of having sex with men since he was a child.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this isn't like a rumor. It's not a hearsay.
Yeah.
It's a documentary, bro.
What he said.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you're like
You're not
trying to
reading-
beat around the bush.
you're not reading behind the lines.
No, you gotta.
Realize, yeah.
He came out with a documentary on Tuesday, man. He addresses all this.
all right. Well,
He also says he was more famous than Jordan for 3 years, and you know what? A lot of players agreed with him. So he was as famous as Jordan for 3 years.
he definitely was in the United States. He was. I don't know about all over the world, but he definitely was
Well-
very well known.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Bad As I Want to Be. My brother had that book. I think he's on the front on a motorcycle.
So that's where he said he was bisexual. Your brother didn't know.
I think my brother just bought the book.
Oh.
What a life Madonna's led.
But they were saying how one of the reasons Rodman did get as famous as Jordan is because he was dating Madonna. So that got picked up everywhere.
That's true. That's actually
And even
true.
John Sally, who's a teammate, it's like Rodman was big, but there's no way we know Rodman like Rodman if he wasn't dating Madonna.
Do you know John Sally? You ever met him?
No.
I know John pretty well.
Yeah.
Great guy. Really cool guy.
Smart guy. I
Smart
know that.
guy. I miss him. I wonder what he's doing. I haven't heard from him. So he was on the scene for a while, doing stuff, different.
He was in L.A. and I don't know. I haven't seen him since that 30
I
for
haven't
30.
seen him at all.
The 30 for 30 is cool because Jamie Foxx is narrating it, who I love.
I need to watch more of the 30 for 30. I love
Oh,
that
they're
shit.
so good.
I love
that
it.
Junior Seau one make you cry. Anyone in here seen the Junior Seau one?
You talked about it though. It was very
Boy.
sad.
Yeah.
You ain't ready for that. Cannabis entrepreneur, actor, vegan, NBA. Yeah, he's great. Dude, when they show the highlights of the Detroit Pistons, in the early 90s when they were the bad boys, God, I want to talk about a different game compared to now. I mean, night and day.
Just rougher, more caution to the wind, or
Oh
what?
man, just
Yeah, like
Rodman-
pirates.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
up. Like
Outlaw
Rodman's like, oh, if
pirates.
you're gonna play us, you're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
like everybody knew that. Shows him like pushing down Jordan and like taking Scottie Pippen, like toss him in the crowd. And shit.
Who?
Rodman.
Wow.
And then Beer Lambert, they were nasty, man. Mm-hmm. Isaiah Thomas.
Because nobody was really watching. You didn't have.
They were
Twitter outing
watching.
you.
They were watching, but you didn't have the Twitter
Yeah.
1%ers who everything was making news and the
Now you have tattletales. Now you got a bunch of narcs watching everything you do.
Oh yeah.
You got tattletales everywhere. Tattletales everywhere, ruining all the fun.
Those Pistons beat Jordan. Yeah, there's that team there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Isaiah Thomas will buy too.
I've heard
When he
rumors.
speaks them all.
I've heard rumors.
Cool.
Handsome guy.
Is he?
I think so. When he was younger, very
Really?
good looking man. Yeah.
Looks like a black Doug.
A black what?
Doug, the cartoon Doug.
Good looking guy, man.
Man, I don't think.
Bring up Isaiah. When
I
he
wouldn't
was
say he's a
younger. Come
good
on.
looking dude.
But very expressive
That's
eyes.
the one lady in the room. Whoa, that's a different Isaiah Thomas.
How do you spell his other name?
See, that's Isaiah Thomas the third. Put in Isaiah Thomas, Detroit. There you go. There it is.
There it is.
There
There you
it
go.
is.
Now, when he was a young man, that's now he's older. Now he's my age.
Go to that bottom one.
God, the face
second row.
changes as we get older.
Not that weird face, Jen. The bottom far right, second row in.
God, he was a good
Second?
player, huh?
Yes, you're 1, 2. Second row. Last picture on the
Square
second row.
jaw.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Dude, you're saying last row, second row?
Yeah, I mean, built like a Greek god, handsome.
Kat, the only woman. Let's not get the advice of a gay
Get
man
another
here.
picture, though.
He's not. I'm telling you, he's not known as like a ladies' man. Like,
There he
he's not.
is,
He's looking his lips.
Cat.
If you think Carlton's hot from fucking Fresh Prince of Bel Air, you're gonna love Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, but look at him.
I think
You're attracted to him because he's athletic.
No, I just thought he was always a fairly handsome dude.
he's good looking in a goofy way.
That's not good.
Yeah,
That's not sexy.
there you go. That's Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
We're all like, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, is that Luke Rockhold or Isaiah Thomas?
You gay man. 51-year-old gay man.
Hey, man, what did you
What?
say? What were you saying?
Nothing, dude.
Don't talk behind my back like this when we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, when he speaks, I love how they had short shorts. It just makes so much sense. Why they were the baggy ones now? They're starting to get shorter.
Was that who came up with the culottes?
Jordan.
I was going to say it was Jordan.
Jordan's the one that did that, and Jordan's the one that wore his own shoes and got fined like a motherfucker.
So on Schooled last year, we talk about that in one of the episodes where I started wearing culottes because my teammate, one of my students, is wearing that. What the hell? Are
And
those?
what year?
Michael
but
Jordan.
it's
91 or something. I mean,
Jordan's the one who started it. Yeah.
he started it.
So that's his rookie season, and then you'll see he's the one that made the baggy shorts.
Thing is, if I have,
You know what?
if I'm quadded out like that, I'm wearing.
Dude, I'm blasting them out.
I'm wearing
dude.
my
cheeks out the back.
Yes, dude. Where
I don't get why boxers do it either. Like you look at some of their
Agreed.
shorts, they're down to here.
Agreed, but it never came back. The short shorts never came back. They've never made a comeback.
I'd be in spandex. Well, short shorts are starting to come back because
Are they?
LeBron and some other guys are starting to wear shorter shorts.
Where?
Not like Isaiah short, where your nuts are out the front.
No, but LeBron should be in the old school Isaiah shorts, dude. I mean,
No,
he should be in
you'll
the
see
70s.
high school kids too. Like you'll see a lot of these other kids starting to wear shorter shorts. See, those aren't super baggy.
Still baggy. They're still not showing the thigh, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's covering their body up.
I'm trying to see the dick piece in the front.
Well,
see,
let's-
those are
let's
kind of
go.
short. Those are kind of short, and then they were spandex underneath.
Yeah, but he's wearing spandex underneath.
But still,
Why does he wear spandex like that? Is that
keep
is
the
that
muscles tight, stay warm,
Oh.
go on the bench.
Oh, okay.
But see, those are at least smaller than the way some kids wear them.
Yeah,
I don't get why you wouldn't wear just short shorts, dude.
I agree with you.
They make
If
so
I'm
much sense.
LeBron, start doing that.
Dude, I had jean
geez.
shorts on the other day. Went out with my son. Even my son goes, "Daddy, you have short shorts." I went, "Too short." If he's noticing it, they're too short.
A little too short.
A little too short. Daddy, you have short shorts. He's 30.
Yeah, the old school. You know the old school running shorts. People used to go running in.
That's what I wear to run.
I feel like you could get away with it.
Yeah, it mixed signals. If you're not hip to the fashion, mixed signals.
Definitely.
That's a giant gay
definitely
man
yeah,
running down the street.
It is a gay. It is a. I do see gay men wearing those
Dude,
shorts.
gay guys
you're-
have fashion.
You're signaling.
The gay guys are on the forefront.
but it's
of
called
fashion.
sexual signaling.
Yeah.
Right. So you're
What
doing
is-
that in your
You know
neighborhood.
what it is? Me wearing short shorts, or guys have like a little bit of quads on them wearing short shorts, is like yoga pants for hot chicks.
There you go.
What are you doing? Leave
Yeah.
something to imagination.
But I like them. I like the way they look. I'm
I
sorry.
love them, dude. I
I
love
like.
them.
Well, hold on.
Well,
Can you go back for a sec?
not that short.
That's no.
I'm
there you go. That
talking-
one. If you could go down. No.
No.
Go
the
back
one with
again.
the cheeks are hanging
Yeah.
out.
If you could show us the one.
singlet.
There you go.
The singlet Brian wore.
That's now
The
we're
singlet
speaking.
Brian used to wrestle in.
Now that's what I wrestle in. That's a good look right there. I'll buy those and then post an Instagram of me in those. That's hilarious.
Yeah, short shorts just make sense.
They
dude.
just make sense. I like short shorts, man.
It feels nice.
That's aggressive, but
My swim trunks are really short.
gals tend to not really like that. They like
Sometimes I say, fuck these hoes. That's what I do.
Okay.
And I just do what's comfortable. Dude.
all right. Well, you're not going to wear those.
Which ones?
The white ones there. The guy's got a very good physique, but
A little dick, though. I couldn't wear those.
yeah.
Oof.
Well, now that's
That's
a
too
better
tight.
that's a
Well,
better look.
Can't wear your chicks cut off shorts.
Well, those are underwear.
Dude, hold up. I took my kid for ice cream the other day in Calabasas. The girl, she has an apron on in the front. She turns around. She goes, "You want a cup or cone?" Cup or cone? I go, "What do you want?" He goes, "Cone." I go, "Cool." She turns around to get the cone. Her ass cheeks were hanging. I'm saying, dude, it hurt. These shorts
Yeah.
covered 3 inches.
Yep.
Her asshole was in everybody's face, and even the dad next to me goes. She turns around. He's like holding his daughter's hand and like talking to his wife. She turns around. He goes, "Oh Jesus!" And you see him like look away, but then we both. I was like, "Oh fuck," because I don't know. She's probably 18. So the guy goes, "Oh Jesus!" And he looks around. And his wife goes, "What?" And he goes, Nothing, honey." And you hear her go, "Oh fuck!" It was. You could see that they were so short.
Yeah.
You know how when people have like the brown around their asshole, you could see the brown almost, dude.
That's impressive.
She was getting this mint chocolate ice cream.
That's a commitment.
And asshole was out, dude.
That's a real commitment.
I mean, it's just that's what kids do these
Yeah,
days.
you could see the outer rim. You could see the nudges, the outer rim. Yeah. You can see the it's crevasses that lead to the.
My favorite part is all the dads
There you
act
go.
like they didn't
That's
see
what
it.
that's what it was.
Even a little worse. A little worse.
So she's wearing a thong for shorts, is what she did.
Denim, a denim thong. Well, I'm not. And now listen, I didn't
Like that? That is really short.
dude. I swear to God, almost identical. Now she didn't look like that. Okay, so that's a big problem. She didn't look like that. Didn't have the cheeks out the back either.
Yeah.
Some girls, the confident. It is a hot girl summer, and they just have the cellulite hanging out. I'm like, good for you, girl.
Well,
I love it when the girls have the midriff and they just have the gut sticking out. I'm like, oh wow, well,
Yeah,
you look like the
that's-
Bears in 1985.
I
Like, why is your shirt
I
like
saw a similar situation with this gal who was very big, and she had impossibly short
Fupa?
shorts on, and I remember looking, going, that's confidence. There's something, she's just.
that? I
Whatever.
celebrate it.
And I swear to God, as I walk by, her friend goes, I'll never forget. Her friend goes, "So can I just tell you, like, this is how much. This is all I heard of the conversation. So can I just say that when you wear shorts like that," and that's all I heard as they kept walking by. I was like, "Ooh, that's a difficult conversation."
I don't mind it, and I like the chubby bunnies that get in those. Like the confidence you have to look in the mirror and go, "Fuck yeah,"
Yeah.
and then roll out with that chili bowl hanging out the front.
Well, it's a lot of it's like guys who are just heavy as hell, and they just don't give a shit.
There's something funny
that
about it.
bike thing. Maybe sure. What kind of bike is that?
Oh, that's definitely a Schwinn.
Is that a Schwinn?
That's a Schwinn.
Okay, I never know.
That's
I
a
gotta-
Schwinn beach cruiser.
Oh, that's a beach cruiser, right?
That's a beach cruiser.
But yeah. When
creatures
when
on
a
this
woman
planet,
wears
man. That's the girl that was getting my ice cream. There it is.
When a woman rides a bike, sometimes it can be a situation.
Alrighty.
I saw a guy with butt implants. I was with Crystalia, and we were at the Coffee Bean, and
Oh God, did
And
Chris
he
light
had-
him up?
and he walked by, and Chris goes, as we're talking about something else, and Chris goes, "And definitely don't do that to your butt." And he's laughing so hard. There's
Oh my!
plastic
Check
surgery.
out. Hold up. Check out the cheekers. Where were you, Chin? Oh no,
Where?
right
This
right
one?
there. The fourth one in.
That is so bad.
Yeah, plastic surgery on a man doesn't look so good. Joey Picks has spent thousands to get.
That's an ass, though, dude.
Perfect.
But the Brazilian where they take the fat from your tummy and put in your ass.
Oh, yeah.
dude, I've
Very
seen them in
common.
person, live in the flesh. It ain't terrible, man.
No, that's
I'll let you old Romero. That's cool.
that's unfortunate. That's difficult. Yeah, Joel. Oof. Wow, that's impressive.
That has to hurt.
Yeah. I my friend's girl did that, and she got the fat put in her, and she couldn't sit down for 6 weeks, and she had to wear a compression. You wear a compression thing, and you get massaged.
Yeah, sure.
So they massage the fat.
So worth it. So worth it. And then after 6 weeks,
Brendan.
all good, baby.
Brendan, take it easy.
Dude, look at Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. Hey, hold up, Chin. Scroll up.
Keep going.
That might be the same guy with the jealous thing. Wow. Gay, I guess gay guys.
Human beings have always altered their body in any way they can, from plates in their lips
Piercings.
to their all that
Yeah.
stuff. Men want to do that. There you go. One thing I got is a booty on me. I'd like to have arms. I'd like to have bigger arms, better chest, but can't have it all, Brendan.
I'd rather have a booty than than a flat ass. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you can't,
Like,
yeah.
there's nothing where, like, skinny arms, all right, whatever, but a flat ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Gluteal enhancement.
How many guys are getting ass in?
Well, I just can't wait till they're able to. I was listening to David Sinclair on Rogan, who is the guy who talks about how they can bring back your aging by 10 years eventually and all that stuff.
Did you say when?
Well, it's not that far
'Cause you're running out
off
of time,
because
brother.
with human growth hormone, DHEA, and metformin, there is the human beings they've identified a clock on humans, like an actual biological clock, if you will. And there's a molecule you can look at, or a mitochondrial or DNA, something in the DNA, and it can actually tell you when you're going to die, according to Sinclair.
That's
Yeah, man. They can start to pinpoint how long you have, and then you can start to take these drugs like metformin and stuff that
Shit.
turns it back 2.5 years at this point.
2.5.
That experiment was only with 9 people.
Hey, 2.5. Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing, right?
mean, the last
so I'll be
2.5.
49.5.
Yeah, less 2.5. I barely see, can't eat,
Yeah.
bed.
But the
really-
idea would be that the
to
idea
keep
is when you're
extending it?
80, they might be able to bring your biological clock back to when you were 30, so you can do physical things and be, that's the idea. I think a lot of it's wishful thinking. I mean, I do believe that we are.
Well, didn't they say the
machines
first
and you can
person's going
biohack
to live
the
to
machine.
200 or something like that? Someone born this year
150.
is going to 150. The
Yeah.
medium age is going to grow like crazy.
Yeah, because we will have viruses that they can shoot in your eyes and all that stuff. But so much of this,
They said the first person. There's been a person born who's going to live to 150 or something. There you go.
I
First
like that
person
idea because you can pick up an instrument now. I had that guy on my podcast, Aubrey de Grey. He studies.
Oh, is he the lead singer of Rob
He
Zombie?
may as well be. He studies the 7 different. There are
Lead singer
7
of Rob Zombie.
different mechanisms in which the human cell breaks down, and they're studying those mechanisms and then how to stop it.
Mitochondria.
Oh, but is it true? Someone that is going to live to 150, or is this just like?
That's what it says. The first person to live to 150 has already been born. Revisited.
Yeah, mutations in the mitochondria, intracellular aggregates, junk inside the cells.
Dude, 150 would be sick.
Well, what would be cool
They got a
about it
lot
is
of
you could
living to
become
do.
fluent in the piano. You could,
Yeah, you keep talking about pianos and shit. Or I
Guitar?
spend a lot of time with my family. You know?
that would be nice too.
Yeah. Fuck a piano, dude.
Yeah, but what
Why
would
get
you
to hang
stay
out with my
alive?
son till I'm 150?
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Piano.
Yeah, but I
You can
always-
learn the piano now, dude.
Well, I
You're
just
not that
I
old.
like the idea of mastering different things and having a lot of time to do it. I don't know. Would I be
You
doing?
could learn the piano now. I mean, you're never going to be fucking
I took
Lionel
piano.
Richie.
I took the piano for a year.
How'd it work out?
It's just there's a technical proficiency you've got to get to before you can learn chords and actually learn how to play certain songs and make. And
It's a lot of work.
You can play. It's where I loved it. I
Why'd you
love
quit? Why'd you
love
quit?
I love the drums and piano because I like the tactile. I like the practice.
I remember you
of
used to have a drum set at your old house.
I still
and I'd
do.
always get
I
on
still
there and
do.
hit it.
I love it. I love practicing sticks and like all the stuff. That shit I love. I really do. But that's more. I like the feel of it. You can learn how to play the drums if you really practice in a year, and you can play a
Oh,
lot
my
of
dad
songs.
plays the
a
fuck
lot
out of the bongos. He learned in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Boom, ba-dum, boom. My dad has these big bongos.
Yeah.
I came home one day after college and just had bongos everywhere. He
Although-
learned in 3 months.
Joey Janamore, my buddy, who his son Louis.
He can play
is
the fuck
a-
out some drums.
Oh my God, can he play?
That's all he does, though.
Yeah, I mean, he practices 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Oh, dude.
And now his band is becoming huge. That kid is like, he's always been artistic, and now he's a monster on the drums.
Dude.
That's like a whole nother level of drums. You're just like, oh fuck, you can do everything.
Well, look at my boy Travis Barker. He's playing his drums with his eyes closed.
Yeah, of course he
A
is.
whole thing just eyes closed.
I will say this.
Freak.
So I played the piano for a year because I wrote a play about a piano player. Don't ask. And
What? Is the movie Piano? The Oscar winner?
it's called The American Piano Player. No, it fucking, I don't want to, it's,
Where's that though?
I actually did it. I did it as a one act, and it was really.
You did a one-man
good.
show?
It was really good, but I didn't play the piano in it. But I remember
Pitch
I
it to
got
Rob
to a point
Schneider
where I
when
was
it
playing
comes.
so much that I was able to use the weight of my fingers. Like literally, you could just you get to a point where you can just use the weight of your fingers to play, and it's so effortless. Like I was just playing chords. I wasn't playing but you can get to a point. It was really cool, but I was like, oh fuck, this is. And I had a teacher who would show me. He would break down songs, and you could actually play the chords of the songs. Yeah. Rob Schneider, ladies and gentlemen, the great Rob Schneider. Hold on.
Saved us. Brian was talking about playing the piano. How you doing?
Good to see you. Great.
Good to see you. I'm a good-looking guy.
What happened to this whole?
Don't kid yourself.
I know.
Let's talk about my physical.
What happened? What happened to you know what I think is happening? Is this moving? Are we doing this now?
Let's do it.
We're gonna pause for a second and reset.
Damn it.
Shit, it was all going good.
We're all going so well.
Such a smooth transition.
Go for it, you guys.
Dude, I love how you just walked in. It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
You got everything good?
I'm great. How are you?
Happiness. I'm good. I was just.
We're finally doing this.
Yeah.
What's up, fam? Brian Callen is had to jet out, so I'm doing this solo one-man army here. But also, Brian doesn't need to be here for this commercial because it's a commercial for hair, and he has terrible hair. So probably better that he doesn't advertise this company called Hims. 66% of men start to lose their hair by age 35. Once you've noticed it's thinning, it's way too late. Ask Brian. It's one of the reasons why he left. The hairline slowly starts to move backwards. And you're like, dude, what am I doing, man? It's too late. Get on it right now. A one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for the bros. Hims is helping guys be the best version of themselves with licensed physicians and FDA-approved products to help treat hair loss. No snake oil pills. We're talking prescription solutions backed by real science. It's so easy. No more awkward in-person doctor visits or long lines at the pharmacies. All you do is answer a quick few questions. A doctor looks at it, sends it to your house. Little discreet package. No one needs to know. All of a sudden you show up looking like Fabio. Everyone's like, oh my God. And you're so happy. Okay. You guys can get right now. You can get started for $5 right now while supplies last. And also the doctor's approval. See website for full details and safe information. This could cost hundreds. If you went to a doctor or pharmacy somewhere else, go to forhims.com/fighter. That's FORHIMS.com/fighter, forhims.com/fighter. We are also brought to you by CBS Sports HQ. I think we're all aware in sports, especially on TV nowadays, it's full of drama and hot topics and hot takes. We don't really care what people are saying. They're not really talking real sports. CBS Sports HQ is here to change all that. CBS Sports HQ is a network that streams live 24/7, and they have coverage that just focuses on the game. That's what you want. They bring you the latest news, highlights, previews, reactions to all the on-field action. Their fantasy sports experts will give you the info you need so you can keep making bank. No fake debates, no overproduced shows, no politics, just sports for real sports fans. Just open up the CBS Sports app. Watch anytime from anywhere on your phone or at home on your Apple TV, Roku, or Fire TV. It couldn't be easier. Download the CBS Sports app right now and watch CBS Sports HQ today.
and I just remember I was kicking a telephone pole.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like this is another level of.
There's
of
a giant stuntman. He was playing a zombie in a TV show I did called Death Valley, and he said, "You can kick me here, just really kick me because I'm going to be bent over." I go, "Okay," and I go, "But I don't want to kick you too hard." He goes, "Look at me." He goes, "You can kick me real hard." I got that, and I go, and I had the gall of saying this. I go, I said this out loud. I go,
oh, no.
I did. I go, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. And he looked at me and he goes, "It's cool, dude. I get it. I'm sure you are." And first thing I kicked him, and then he goes, "I'm telling you, the second thing I fucking kick him." No, whatever. He was just fine. He, like that.
Did you get any fights growing up, Rob?
Oh yeah, Rob.
Yeah,
let me answer the question.
Because when I look at you, I think Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's right.
Just survival.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, you got to know. But you had to be when you're smaller, and also when you're also. You know, it's like you got to get it over with quick to fight, either win or lose quickly, and also make sure it's in front of as many people so there's a chance of somebody to break it up.
Yeah, that's
Keep
right.
it close to the school. Make sure there's an adult that could be within the area.
Yes.
You had to strategize the whole time. And it was like, I remember one time it was Bill Schultz, his brother John Schultz. I remember there's something wrong with that family. God bless him. But and I remember this one kid, and I said, just keep the fight close to the school, and sure enough, he waited for me to get far enough away from the school, and this is a knockdown, drag-out fight until we're both exhausted. And I had a big, gigantic black eye. And I just remember, like, how hard. Some kids had hard hands.
Yeah.
Some kids, you could take it. Some kids, like, I remember, like, Cliff Vanderwerf.
Damn, you remember their names.
Yeah,
You have a
when
good
you
memory.
get hit, like, my friend Rick Glosser was my best buddy. We're still good
Where'd you
buddies.
grow up?
Just right below San Francisco. I grew up in the Haight-Ashbury. The summer of love was the summer of moving for us. Summer of love. I swear to I was born in 1963. 1967, there's like, you had like,
Yeah. Yeah.
people.
the whole, yeah.
My dad
Having
was like,
sex in the streets.
There's a bunch of crazy hippies out there, but then we moved down to the, but I grew up in.
Mom was
in
Filipino, right?
Yeah, in Pacifica. So, yeah. So, but anyways, Cliff Vanderwerf, I remember him, my friend Rick said, how I look. I said, you're okay, but your nose is over here. But
Jesus.
so and like there was another Bob McPeak. I remember that's a big dude. And I remember this guy. I just gotta wait, get him right in the nose.
Do you remember
just
names
pop
like
him in
that,
the
B?
nose.
Yeah.
Just you say if I pop in the nose, it's over. Because then
Right.
you can't see. Then it's really over.
Get smacked in the nose.
Once you get
That
hit in the
ain't any
nose,
kind of
you're gonna
fun.
really want to fight after getting hit in the nose.
Not me.
Hey, B, you remember
Not me.
details like that? You don't remember his name?
I don't have any details
Only
of my childhood. My childhood's a complete blur. I'm not kidding.
A lot of it's a blur, yeah.
my friend said to me, my buddy goes, I've known you your whole life. I know nothing about your childhood. I met you when I was 18. I go, yeah,
Sometimes I
never
wonder
think about it.
Sometimes I
Really?
wonder because we're getting older. Is it that, or but you?
I don't know. I just
great
don't.
memory.
I just never think about my childhood that way. I remember some names, but not. That's
But
You remember,
but
you
he grew up-
remember negative times a lot. 'cause
No,
you're-
but I
that's
do
the way
remember
you're-
a couple of fights that I win. It's not as interesting because
Yeah.
you're like, you don't let it eat you up.
Yeah.
But I remember like I just this one guy really wanted to fight me, and I was avoiding it, but I made sure I stayed on the school grounds. I was walking around the school, and literally like at that time there was hundreds of kids. I'm not exaggerating. They were just waiting for anything to break,
yeah.
break the tedium. They're so bored.
Rip his head
What's
off.
happening? Yeah. And so I just. Anyway, so he just came at me, and I couldn't back away anymore because there was a little crowd behind me. I said, "Okay, here we go." Then I
I
just
never
clocked
wanted to
him.
fight though, because for me, I remember a kid said, "I'll see you after school," and for me, I was always the kid at school who I like everybody. My it's just. I like everybody, and I want everybody to like me. And the last thing I want to do is fight. It's not in my thing.
Yeah.
And I remember he was big and strong, and I was probably in 8th grade, and I was like, number one, I don't want to fight. That guy's
Yeah.
going to beat me up. Number two, it makes me feel bad.
Oh, yeah.
And number three, I'm fucking scared.
If you feel bad,
I was
you shouldn't
bummed.
fight though, because you have to like. That's the thing, because your life's in danger. Like I mean, for professional
Fight or
fighters,
flight, yeah.
it's like you can't like.
He's
I don't want to hit that guy
as tough
too
as
hard.
he is. I bet
I don't want to hit this guy too hard. Then you can't fight anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my thing is I had an older brother who was the scariest guy in the neighborhood. So if I was having a problem, I knew I was going to fight. I'd tell my brother, like, will you just come? Just in case, will you come? So if it got out of hand, Big Bro was there.
Yeah, man.
Well, I knew I wouldn't get my ass whooped that bad because he would jump in.
You need somebody at least in.
Even
'cause you
now
don't-
he's like
you don't want to
that.
get kicked in the head.
But there's
Wait,
some
you
guys
know.
that like beating on other people. There
Yeah.
was one
They're
mean
called
kid.
psychopaths.
Yes, there was one psycho. His older brother, Tony Lewis, was the older brother. Great
God, you
guy.
remember all the names. I'm so
Mike
jealous.
Lewis was the younger guy my age who was just like a man at 13.
Yes,
he was already
with a
like
beard.
just like
Had
just
the
without
sideburns.
steroids, but
Yeah.
just had
Yeah.
had the hormone. And this guy, and he just wanted to beat the shit out of everybody. Just was like, I want to. He said, "Come on, you could probably beat my ass. You could probably kick me." And I was like, I knew. Oh, you're good. I'm good. I don't need to. I'm
Well,
good.
they
You're good."
say in jail, even in jail, like where the baddest criminals are.
Yeah.
It's a very small fraction of people that are actual psychopaths and super violent, but they're the ones that control everything. So a lot of times in jail, you'll see like they'll have, people get stabbed and stuff. That shit's being controlled by a very small group of dudes. And sometimes they'll have these programs where they take those guys and just put them in.
You're saying they don't want
you have a
conflict?
real-
Most people in jail,
They wanna do the time to
They
get
just
out.
want to get along. They're actually hanging out and stuff like that. It's the sociopaths at the top that organize and enforce stuff. Like they did South African jails, the same thing.
But at least they're in jail. It's a sociopaths outside of jail that you're worried
Yeah,
about.
that's the problem.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes they can be.
Did you
But
start?
that's it. You're interested in that stuff because to me, I think if you get too interested in a specific thing, it's you're creating that kind
You
of
might
thing.
be.
You know,
You
you
might
know what I
be.
mean?
Yeah.
You think there's something to that?
My mother says
100%.
that. My mother says, "Stop." So I get very upset about the injustices in the world. Right? I'm
Yeah,
so
me
fucked up.
too, yeah.
I would read about the Congo, and I'd read about what they were doing to villagers, and I couldn't sleep. I would have to put myself to bed thinking about being in a helicopter gunship and opening up on all the soldiers because of what they
Yeah.
do. I want Joseph Kony and those pieces of shit. my mother would say, you need to stop this. It's bad for your health. And
I
she's
know,
right.
You have to, like, you know what the thing is about it? I'm glad you brought that up, because you have to kind of do in life, I think, is you're never going to figure it all out, but you need kind of a beachhead. You need to have some sort of interpretation of what this whole experience is in life
Yes.
in some way to live a decent life and not go crazy.
Yes.
Because you can
and not
find
to
the
lock yourself up,
negativity.
huh?
You
So-
can find the negativity.
You can find it's there, but at the same time, you have to find a balance of it, and that's why, like, Buddhism for me is like the middle way.
Yeah.
You don't get too out, too low, because there has to be some of that. If you didn't know, if there wasn't bad, you wouldn't know what good was.
Yeah,
So
Well, I like
you have
Buddhism, and I like the idea that this might all be a simulation. I like the idea that.
to- no, that's where it's
well, I like the
Well,
idea
that's not
that.
Buddhism.
I think that's potential narcissism in that thinking that it's just this thing that doesn't really exist, or it's fake, or it's all a vision, because then it can give you an excuse to
Yes.
not behave well.
That I don't want. No,
know
what
what I mean?
what I actually like to think about is I believe in a higher power. I always have believed.
Yeah, oh, sure.
In some
Yeah.
benevolent, or the idea that there's a good way and a bad way.
Yeah.
And so I think that religion and faith and love and hope have very powerful roles to play in our lives.
It is.
Which
So
is
what
why I
could a
always
simulation
disagree.
be?
So what I had explained to me
disappointing.
recently was the idea that we might already be in. So listen to this idea, which
Okay.
kind of blew my mind.
Well, it's also that's
We
very
may already
Australian
be-
native thinking.
we may already be
dream time.
self-replicating machines. Our biological heritage may be long dead. The idea might be this is kind of this is what Elon Musk and some of
yeah,
the scientists
yeah.
talk about. So as we're human beings and we're creating computers in our likeness. If you actually extrapolate far enough, we are going to reverse engineer the brain. We are going to come up with a robot that is as human-like as it gets. The question is, can you create consciousness? Can you create a machine that actually knows it's going to die, whatever it might be? And if that's the case, then will it make a machine that's even more sophisticated than it? If you keep following that, it folds in on itself, and we may already be
That.
a product of that.
That sounds like a very
kinda
early
went-
Star Trek episode.
It does.
I don't
Yeah.
buy into it.
Well,
Maybe not.
It's,
almost
also,
like-
it's also depressing to think
It's
like that.
it's
Well-
depressing, but it also makes me feel like there's got to be some higher designer, some higher god.
Well,
some-
I would just think that,
don't know.
Look, Alan Watts talks about this in a really interesting way. He said, look, let's get this straight right now. If there is such a thing as compassion and kindness and love, then it's endemic of a universe that creates it, because that's what we're from. So let's get that straight right now. So he says there is
very
a higher
good. It's
power.
very good. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
that's
and
nice.
so I do think that. I also think that we got to be very careful going down the road like we have everything figured out. Every time we do that, things get completely fucked up.
I
Like
agree.
for instance, we're already like when they say we're half the man our grandfather was. It's because the sperm count is down to like 50%, and just like the last 40 years.
Yep.
Less
Yep.
than 40 years. So there is like
Something's going
there's a
on.
real chance
Yeah.
that
that it makes sense as we get more and more crowded that
Uh-huh.
our sperm counts get lower because nature kind of goes creating too many, too many.
I
Right?
know. Have you read that book? Of course, I don't read, but I like. Have you heard the book on audio tape, *Sapiens*?
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Read it. Yeah.
Isn't
Fuck,
that-
twice.
I have that book
Oh, yeah.
now.
Thank you.
Isn't it just like
And I listened to it. I didn't read it.
yeah. Who has the time?
Nobody has.
We're using our time.
I
We
fucking drive.
Why do one thing when you could do like three things?
Have you listened to that book?
I have the book. I'm
Very, very-
like quarter of
That
the way
is so
through it.
almost knowledgeable.
book.
I know. I have so many books that I have so many things, but that is so like if you're right there, it's like I got it. I'm almost there. You're practically with us. But the idea is, the thing about it, it's like you tell stories and they go around. You ever do that when you're a little kid?
Yes.
Tell stories.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like books on tape. You don't even need to hear the book anymore. Just hear us tell 30 seconds.
And
what
I'll
the
wait for
story
the
is.
TED Talk. I'll wait for the TED
Yeah.
Talk. Then I regurgitate it as
Or
my
the
own.
Almost
podcast.
there.
Or the
Yeah, almost
podcast.
there.
Almost there. But the idea of
He's
it
a
is.
practicing Buddhist, by the way.
Oh, okay. The idea of it is just to, and by the way, you don't have to practice. That's another thing about it too, about Buddhism thing.
How long have you been
don't have
Buddhist?
well, I got into Buddhism, or just I remember like the first time I was aware of it was like when I was a little boy.
Yeah.
I was like not quite 8 years old in Japan, and my parents, took one of those little cheapy tours where you go here, spend one night in a horrible hotel, and do this and whatever. But my mom's Filipino. And so we went and saw our relatives in the Philippines. That was the first time I was exposed to like incredible poverty.
Poverty, yeah.
Like poverty, like I didn't even know what poverty was. So I was at 7 years old. You kind of saw this. There was another way of like my dad would get mobbed if he gave like some money to a little kid. The next thing you know, the kids would just come out and mob them. And I realized these kids are working already and they're my age.
That's how I grew up.
And so
Watching that.
when you see that, you just it just changes you. And then one of the places we went to Japan, and I remember there was this every place there's these temples, and it says, well, this has the hair of Buddha in here. This has a fingernail. And this has like a stick that he used. I mean, I guess if you put it all together, you'd create like there'd be 10,000 Buddhas, you know. But so the idea is there was this. They said this is the Buddha. He's encased in gold, and he basically said, if my body stays intact for 72 days after I pass away, then encase me in gold because everything I told you is true. And I remember thinking, wow, somehow he was able to tell, and I just remember being as a little boy thinking, somehow he was able to get himself and his body and tell himself to maintain even after his death in some way. And I didn't know even think about the cellular level or whatever.
I'm not even trying to be funny here, but why is the Buddha like a fat guy? Why is he fat?
So do you know where the Buddha, anybody know where the Buddha originally came from?
Yes, it's from India.
Thank you.
Not from.
He was an Indian prince. But the idea
And he
of
was
him
thick?
being that's a rendition that's only in some
It's like our
countries.
white Jesus?
Yeah, the Siddhartha
well-
Gautama was a prince. And in fact, the Buddha was, if you really study his life, he was actually, at one point, he was living on a handful of rice a day. And he said,
what
that doesn't
happened
work.
was
But he was thin.
Buddhism was reformed in China. The Chinese reformed Buddhism because Buddhism in his original in my understanding of it, in its original incarnation. Because again, it's not like a Bible. Buddhism doesn't have like it's an oral thing. It's a basically
Word of mouth?
and Zen Buddhism is even more.
It's more of a practice.
More of a sect, yeah. So basically, what happened was the Chinese reformed Buddhism and said you didn't have to be isolated like the original Buddhist monks in India. They would have their own temples. They would have their own places. They were locked off from the world. And the Chinese reformed Buddhism in a really good way by saying you could be married. You should be a Buddha in the world, not outside the world, to have an influence in it and be challenged in as many ways as you can. Having kids, having doing things and being a part of that, but still being the middle way. And also like and drinking. Some of when I was in Taiwan, you'd meet some. Buddhists, and they drink, and it's like they actually say if you have a drink before you meditate, you save 6 months more further progress.
Oh,
They sound a lot like Alan Watts.
makes sense.
And Alan Watts, you can just tell he was a drinker. He was done. 57
Alan Watts was a
smoker, a drinker,
a man who studied the brain, and a scientist, and was also a gay power lifter. I don't know if you
and
know
a
that.
priest. I mean, he was like
Yeah.
he was incredible, and he's the guy who
Renaissance
brought
man.
transcendental meditation to the West. So he was a really incredible.
Were you Buddhist when you were doing Saturday Night Live?
No, I mean I kind of shifted in and out of it, and I think you take a little bit of everything. Christianity is what I'm swinging back to as well.
Now you're swinging back to Christianity?
Yeah, I am. I really do think because I think Christianity is getting attacked, and any religion that's getting attacked, I go, well, there must be something to this.
Yeah.
So I think so too. Again, I think like Zen Buddhism, it's not a religion, it's not a philosophy. You have to describe it by what it isn't, and that's really interesting to me.
I wish if we look down right now, you're not even sitting, you're actually floating.
Floating
like just an inch off the chair.
Well, I think again, what we're going back to is what we were talking about is having some sort of philosophy or a foundational thinking, so you don't go crazy, so you can that makes sense of the world, and everybody's trying to have that. And that's the weird thing is if you question somebody else's belief system, they go ape shit.
I know.
And that's why you have like normal people. Like I mean, one of the guys who was just lost his shit the other day, who I've met, he's just an actor who just was attacking other people who were representing like another
Attacking
Republicans.
online?
Oh, you're talking about fucking Deborah Messing and Eric McCormick.
Yeah, and I was like, these are normal, nice people, but they've just, what happens is, again, that's why, Buddhism's the middle way. Try to stay in the middle,
Yeah.
and they'll just swing out. And I guess what happens is, I think their belief structures are getting to the point where, it's getting knocked, and they're getting questioned to it.
And they get nasty.
Yeah.
But they're
you
also
start
unhappy. They're
Yeah,
also
well,
unhappy.
but the minute, what's funny about someone like Eric McCormick, who I've met him and worked
Who's
with
like
him.
a great
nice guy, but he's probably not. I think he needs to pick up a history book because when you say let's create a list, my friend,
Yeah.
it's a matter of time before you're on a list.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't want to live in a society like this, especially when you have a political point of view. You have a right to.
Well, you
blah,
have
blah, blah.
actual censorship now.
100% in Hollywood. I mean,
We have
no,
censorship.
no, I don't know.
Censorship that the big tech, Google and stuff. I mean, I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of all the right wing, not as conspiracy or just.
No, but
I
you're
don't like
100%
right wing or
right.
left wing. But you can't. The
you
idea.
get shadow banned.
Yes, the idea of disagreement shouldn't go to destruction, a personal destruction,
Correct.
or trying to take somebody's career away.
Yes.
Or it's like, hey, you know what this guy said and whatever.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. So you have that. You should when you disagree, you should go right to debate, not destroy,
you.
not demean. You should go into dissuade.
Use your
Dissuasion.
ideas.
open
Put your
mind,
ideas
though.
against my ideas.
Yeah, but with
instead
an
of
open mind.
Yes. And but I think people like Eric McCormick, Deborah Messing, by the way, I don't talk about badly about anybody publicly.
No, you like everybody.
Never heard anything good.
You like
I
everybody.
mean, never heard anything but negative things about Deborah Messing. So she's just not a nice person from what I've just know too many people who work with her. But there, I said something bad about somebody.
I don't know.
But
But that took a lot though for you to say that.
Yeah, that
she's
means
just,
she sucks.
she's just not a nice
bring it up,
person.
Chin.
But
But
at the end of the day, I think that these are people who are not confident in their own ideas. Use
you
your
go.
ideas, pit them against the other ideas, and let's see who comes out on top. Use your ideas. Don't censor people. Don't threaten to
censor
destroy
anyone.
their career.
Don't censor anyone. Because
Yeah.
I do think, though, the interesting part about it, what I got from Sapiens, was that people really don't change that much. And if
No.
you think about it, there was something very stunning, and I'm going to kind of steal it and at the same time, pervert it
your own.
from my own
Yeah,
point of
make it
view.
your own,
But it's
man.
like if you were born in 1900, okay? Now you guys know that before World War I, before there was, transportation, in 1903, I guess with the first plane, really, the Wright brothers, right? But if you were born in 1900, it was basically mostly a farming culture, right? Mostly agrarian. So you're talking 80% of Americans were farmers, okay? And that's why when World War I came, that was really far away. We don't want anything to do with that. But if you live to be 69 years old, you landed on the fucking moon.
Yeah.
So, but the
Huge.
people but haven't changed. They haven't progressed in their mind and in their thinking. They haven't progressed to that point. So you're thinking now you go 50 years later to to us, and it still hasn't changed that much more. So you have these people who are very kind of tribal, very provincial,
Oh, yeah.
still. And
Well,
so,
also the internet's allowed you to create your own tribe too. Like
Groups.
the internet
It
for the
has.
first time has allowed you to really purify your echo chamber.
Well, because
Well,
you
yes.
can get people to jump in and
that's what-
join the bandwagon.
well, that's what Noam
So, like,
Chomsky-
let's get him. Like, oh yeah, let's get him.
Well, that's what
And
Noam
then-
Chomsky talks about is like the idea of the internet is amazing because you have the potential to learn things and to get out there and open up your scope to the world, and the encyclopedia is at your fingertips. However, people just go to the same shit over and over again, the only stuff that they're interested
Yes.
in. So it does become, like you said, an echo chamber.
Yeah.
But the potentiality is there. And I would just say this to people who are like, who have like the problem when you turn 50 is like I never wanted to be the guy who's like when you get in your 50s and go, "Hi, when we were kids, let me tell you, we used to have conversations."
Yeah.
And people in their 50s when I was 15 were complaining about shit. So there's a kind of a cycle that happens. However, I would just say this: if you look at any new industry, if you look at anything new that changes the world, that has an impact on the world, you take a look at, well, let's take aviation. This is my example I use. In 1903, when it started to go 15 years in, which is roughly 15 years of social media, where it's been so impactful, right? If you go 15 years into when aviation is invented, and then to where in 1918 they were just starting to figure out how to kill people with planes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
So
yeah.
now and then it took a while for it to become mass transportation and become a mostly peaceful use. So if
Yeah.
you look at 15 years into social media, they're just figuring out how to kill people with it.
And- But
Okay?
they're just figuring out how toxic it is and how
And then-
the companies that made them have made it so your brain has the impulse. Same impulse as
Dude,
a
I have
slot
children.
machine.
Yes.
The iPad has stolen my
colors.
children from me.
Yeah, but what you can do though is that you can become aware of it, and then I think people will survive this,
Yeah.
and then get to a place of peacefulness with it. But it's all still new. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's like I don't know if Einstein really said that thing about when when our communication exceeds our ability to when our technology exceeds our ability to communicate, we'll have a generation of idiots or some
Yeah, he's not lying.
derivation of that.
I have it as a tattoo. Muscular shit. You can't read it.
Hey, B.
Shredded, shaved, oil.
Shredded.
It's here, and you, Brian, I can't read that. No shit, Rob.
Well, if you drive by a school now, high school or middle school,
Yeah.
if none of them are talking to each other, all of them are waiting for the bus, looking at their phone.
That's
Dude.
adults too.
all of
It's
it.
crazy.
A lot of adults.
How about when you see like your kid comes up to you and you're on your phone, your kid's trying to get your attention. You go,
know.
hey,
Hey, dude, when I come into my house,
How old's
my
your kid?
kids are like this. They're like, hey, Dad.
Rob, how old you kid?
6 and 2, gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
3.
you're in it.
Rob, I didn't
You're
know
in
you
it.
had-
Dude, I went back. I went. Let's do this again.
for you.
You're in the thick
Yeah,
of
I
it.
love it.
You
How old
have,
are your
you have
kids?
only two. I have 8 and 11.
I have a 30-year-old too.
Oh, you do?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been down this road.
Yeah, and I from the mistakes, I missed too much from the 30-year-old. I did.
Missed
I did.
too much because you were busy like
No, just
shooting
'cause
or what?
I was an idiot, but I was divorced and like I just I didn't spend enough time with her, and it really. You know what? The thing is, your relationship that you have, and God bless her, my daughter Elle King. She's a great musician.
Great name.
She's a great musician, and she's just a great kid. And she's opening for. She just played the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
Monday night.
Wow.
Hollywood
Seriously?
Bowl, opening for Heart.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And she's an incredible musician. But
What's her name? Bring her up.
Elle King.
Elle King.
But I'm saying though, like you.
Well, hold on. 30, if she's 30, you're 50.
Yeah.
So you had her when you're 20.
I'm 55.
So you had her when you're 25.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, but there's no.
who's going to get
excuse.
it right when you're 25? No, I'm
I
not
know, but
making
there's no excuse,
excuses.
but I'm saying
when
that-
I was 25, I could barely take care of a plant.
But she ended up
that's
becoming
awesome.
an
There she
artist and expressing herself, and she's just a great kid. And
Wow,
I mean, she's an adult now.
She's always been an artist. Always been a.
She was just trying to find something that she loved and she could show her passion for, and she did it.
She was on American Idol.
Yeah,
That's where I know her from.
and she's doing really good. You know?
CT my ass. That was a long time ago, and I remember from American Idol.
And she's killing it right now, and I'm happy for her. And you know what though? She's been so generous to have me in her life, and she's such a great big sister to her two little sisters.
Awesome.
But I do know that it's just the times that you miss, you never get back. So
No, I
just
know.
spend that
Never.
time. How old are your kids now?
8 and 11.
Oh, you're right in it.
I
That's
know.
the best
And,
age
and
ever.
I have a 3.5-year-old, and I got another one on the way in November.
All right.
2 boys.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. It's my son. My daughter now at 11 is already rolling her eyes at me. My son's still 8, and he's still such a sweetie. I told him a story
yeah.
yesterday. I make up these stories about this enchanted forest and how when I was in nature camp, and I kind of put myself in the story. And the questions he asks. Did the monkeys take you into the trees? What do they look like? And I fucking last night I Google hairless chimpanzee. And he basically have you ever seen a chimp with no hair on it? They're the most terrifying muscular things. And he goes that exists. I go yeah. He goes, what do you do? I go, they took me into the trees and they were playing catch with me. What the? How did you get? That's what I brought up. That's what I brought up right there.
Oh yeah, they're 9 times strong. They have 9 times more
Ugh.
of the bone density than we do.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And
Enjoy that.
Their ratio of like adrenaline, ours at the most goes from like 0 to 1. Theirs goes from like 0 to 11.
Oh my
So
God.
that's why, and they're stronger. So that's why a chimpanzee can drop 3 stories from onto cement and just walk it off.
What? Really?
Yeah, that's how strong they are.
Oh, you know your
They can
shit
rip
when it comes to
rip
chimps.
your.
Dude, he's-
I had to work with them in a movie, and I said I want to learn something beforehand.
Oh, really?
I went down to the LA Zoo, and they said, okay, if you're going to work with these guys, just never turn your back on them.
It's dangerous,
And he said,
huh?
what?
Never turn your back
And
on
he
him.
said, just don't ever turn your back on him. He said, why? And he did this to me. Well, I said, see that guy right there? I've been taking care of him for 18 years. I've been, wiping his ass, giving him food every day. I turned my back on him one time. He did this to me. And he looked up and he's missing a finger.
Holy shit!
Bit my finger off. Then there's a guy who,
Well, there he is. There. That's the picture I brought
oh
up.
man.
That's
What
a
movie
hairless
was it,
chimp.
Rob?
That was The Animal back like 19 years ago.
I remember that movie.
So
And
anyways.
enjoy that. Enjoy that. Look at
that
those
guy's-
hands built for cruelty, just built to rip you to shreds.
Yes, exactly.
I said that's what.
Well, there's another thing. There's another guy I was working with. He said, I was working with a chimpanzee. You can only work with them until they become get their incisors and become like adults, because you can't work with them after that, because they want to take you out and take
right.
the other guy out. So you can only work. So it's not a good idea to work with wild animals, and I wouldn't do it again.
No, you don't work with adult chimps.
No, you
Hey,
can't.
B,
It's not-
remember
you
when we were
can't do
trying
it.
to hire one when we were shooting that comedy show? And we had a
baboon.
Let me tell you a story.
We had a
The guy-
baboon
This is
there.
the guy that I
Baboon.
work with. I work with Louis, who was the orangutan, and this is his handler who worked with this chimpanzee. And he told me this story. He said, "Well, let me tell you this one story." He said, "So I was with this, chimpanzee, and he was 10, like not quite 11 years old, and he liked to ride in the car in my pickup truck on my shoulders." And he said, "Then we're driving back to the place, and then all of a sudden I felt this warm liquid coming down my neck into my chest, and I look over and it's blood, and I go, and he bit my ear off." So he said, it was everything I could do. It was like my elbow. And I said, he's my elbow. I was punching him as hard as I could, and screaming, punching, and I barely was able to get out. And then I had to keep the door closed because he would have come out. If he would have got out, I
Ripped his
barely
face
able to. Well, he would have ripped somebody else's face
Well,
off.
do you remember that
Jesus.
And I
that
said,
lady who was on
how do
like
you work-
Maury?
Ripped her face off.
That lady was on Maury. She was sleeping with this, literally sleeping with him in a robe. She would give him like Xanax and
Oh,
shit
yeah.
and wine.
Oh,
and then
well, I'm sorry.
Well, then
Wine,
you-
stem glasses with red wine, taking baths with him. Okay.
and then like reading to him
And give him
And
Prozac.
then one day she has like a guy friend come in like
No, a gal,
fix
a
the
gal.
plumbing or something.
It was a gal.
No, it was a guy.
No, it was a
Wasn't
woman.
it a guy?
It's a woman. She changed, and what happened was she changed. He was a 200-pound male chimp. Great job.
Fully
grown.
Fully grown.
He had changed. She had changed her hairstyle that
he
day.
didn't
She got her
recognize her.
hair done, and that chimp saw her and went, "I'm gonna eat your face and all your and all your
Look at
fingers,
Rob
and all your
Well,
fingers."
yeah.
So she lost all her
she ripped
fingers.
no, remember he ripped her face.
That's
off
right. They
with
eat your
his
face.
hands.
Well, what they
Yeah.
do first is this: it's like a fight. It's like, well, I'm going to do things. So first of all, I'm going to bite off. I'm going to bite off all your fingers, so you don't have a chance to poke my eye out.
your
First
fingers
thing.
off.
And then I'm going to bite off. Then I'm going to take off your jaw, so you can't bite me back.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to bite off your nuts, so you know this is serious.
That's literally what they do.
Because the jaw and face
It's
didn't
like,
do
you know,
it.
so if the jaw and face didn't do it, the nuts didn't do it. Then
Let me
like,
get your
hey,
day.
it's like, hey, at that point, the chimp wins.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
won,
say,
man.
let's chimp a sake and let's fight very seriously.
Unbelievable.
Well, there's that great show, Fatal Attraction on the Animal Planet or one of those, which says that these idiots that take wild animals and say, I'm going to live with a snake, a python. And it's like, and he loves me. He's sleeping next to me. The python's sleeping. He's also stretching all the way out. He's like, he's measuring you to fucking eat you.
That's exactly what he's doing, dum dum. That's what he's doing.
Like somebody had like a Komodo dragon, you know, and every day he was like, he'd lick me, and he's poisoning you slowly, slowly, and then eventually ate him and killed him. The guy. You got to watch the show Fatal Attraction. You never seen it?
No, it sounds
No.
fantastic.
You know what you're gonna do?
That's
you're gonna
amazing.
watch this, and then you're gonna stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning. You're not gonna be able to stop watching it.
Sounds
I obsess
fantastic.
over that stuff.
Fatal Attraction.
I didn't feel bad for this lady that was attacked by that chimpanzee. It's
Well,
like
she didn't
did.
know.
She didn't know. It's not
She
one thing
came
if-
to see. She came to see her friend.
oh no.
There's a horrible.
No,
He's
fucked up.
eating my friend.
So as the
He
chimp
fucked
was-
up the owner too. though.
as the chimp was eating the
Just the
no,
lady?
just lady.
Just the lady.
So I checked this out. As the chimp was eating, killing her, she stabbed him with a knife, and he looked
The
at
owner
her like
did, yeah,
this.
like,
he
why
stabbed
would
her.
you do
Yeah,
that to
boss.
me?
He goes, "What'd you do?" Then the cop
Scroll
came
up,
and
Jim.
shot that chimp 3 times in the chest, and the chimp still climbed up on top of the roof. And then then they unloaded on him a bunch of other times, and he finally died.
Yeah.
But 3 slugs from a 9mm, and the chimp was like, "I'm good. I'm gonna climb this. I'm still gonna climb the fucking house."
yeah, no.
Have you ever touched one? Because I've held
yeah.
a chimp, a
No,
baby
it's-
chimp. They're
Yeah.
made of wood. Their muscles are wooden.
Yeah. No, I remember because this one guy was the one, 9-year-old orangutan that was working with in that movie, The Animal. He was just like, the first day he liked me. I was a new thing. The second day he was bored of me already. And I remember because he had this one scene where he had his hand around my throat, and he would just like literally like his hand was like iron, and he just started squeezing my throat. And I said, "Am I gonna fucking die right now?"
Probably. Yeah, I don't like primates.
Well, no, it's another level, and like you have to like respect.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
telling you, their bone density is 9 times more than us, but it's the adrenaline
Is that true?
part.
Their
Yeah.
bone density is 9 times.
9 times, and their adrenaline level can go up. I think it's 11 times more than us. So they're like the fight or flight
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So
they
they're
fight.
so when you combine that bone density and that muscular,
And giant
strength,
teeth.
and you combine that with like this. This is like. This is something that's swinging vines and trees, and,
And
they'll
think
rip your arm
of
off.
think of a 200 or 200-pound male chimp, like what that would do to you
Well, there's 400 pounds.
in the Congo, sir.
Yeah.
Big boys.
In the Congo.
Yeah.
They call them the leopard.
You don't
eaters.
see one living
You don't
with a
look them.
gorilla.
You don't
though.
look them in the eye when you go out there. My friend did
Well,
that.
I do. You guys. don't.
Remember that baboon?
supposed to go,
Remember the baboon?
That
he told us
fucking-
not to look at him in the eye.
Yeah,
My
that-
friend
that
went out
baboon.
there.
Yeah, don't look him in the eye.
My friend went out there. It's like it used to be called Rhodesia. What's the country now again? It's
Zimbabwe now.
Okay. He said so. He went out there, and you could go out there, and there are these plains gorillas. They're out in the and so there's like the last group of them left, and visitors go out there, and you pay money, which is great because instead of these guys who would normally be killing these beautiful,
You're talking about the lowland mountain
Lowland
gorillas.
Mountain Gorilla, yeah.
They're
And so
taking
you go
tours
out
now?
there. Yes, you can do a tour, and it actually pays for the park, pays to maintain, and
Yeah.
pays to protect these animals.
Yes.
And so it's really a good thing to go do.
Yep.
When you go out there, they tell you there's certain behavior that you do not do. You don't stare, the silverback in the eye.
don't fuck with the silverback.
I'm not going on that tour.
The
I'll
old
just give you the money.
but here's
well,
the thing.
silverback ain't hearing a fucking
but
peep
there's
out of a chimp.
communication. You said you go out there. I said my friend Chaz Edelstein. He said he went out there, and he said, so what do you do? Is well, you don't look him in the eye, and you sit down, and you just let him know you're okay, and they tell him there's it's like I'm just everything's cool, and he'll give it back to you.
You ever see that video where the mountain gorillas, the big male just walks by one of the guides and grabs him by the ankle and just takes him for a little drag? Do you see that? Bring that up. mountain lion, mountain gorillas. So they're watching a troop in the Congo. They're all these naturalists, and it's like you can pay to do this, and they're all like this. They're all sitting there, and they're really quiet. And this giant male comes walking by, grabs the motherfucker by his ankle, and just takes him for a little drag.
Well, that's like Harambe with the kid, huh?
Is that one there?
Yeah, grabs him, man.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
Gorilla grabs the man out of nowhere.
If you
the
guys-
second one down.
the problem with people in California is they don't really realize that there's another rest of the country out there. And that's why you get your Deborah Messings and stuff. It's like, hey, there's another country out there. And it's like you leave 45 minutes outside any big city, it gets a little weird.
Yep.
And like you have...
Look at this. Look.
Whoa.
Wait, is that guy napping?
No, he's just lying down, trying to be cool.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's like, hey, man. Whoa.
Take
But
it
like
for a
you...
little
like there, for instance, you probably didn't know this, but there are 5,000 lions privately owned by people in the United States. At least
I'm
5,000.
fucking loving how much you know about
Yeah, you know
animals.
your shit.
Well,
What a
it's
terrible
I'm
idea. though.
fascinated. Oh, it's a terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Because they outgrow. It's just like, when you used to have people used to have like little turtles, which have like hepatitis A in there.
Yeah,
You don't want
salmonella
that.
and shit.
Touch my eyes and shit.
But we had them all over we had turtles and stuff. And then some places they'll get like you can buy an alligator. You have an alligator, and all of a sudden it gets too big. Let's get rid of this damn alligator.
Well, the problem was in the 70s, and before they passed it, you could buy Nile crocodiles for you had to go through 3 hoops and buy them. So dummies in Florida would have, I got a Nile crocodile. All of a sudden this Nile crocodile gets to be not more than 5 feet, and it'll bite everything.
Don't they?
Let's put it in the Everglades.
Well,
and
they
now
have a problem. They have a problem in Colombia, right? Because Pablo Escobar had like hippos and like real crocodiles.
But they
Probably,
have this
yeah.
now in the Everglades. They have like Burmese python.
Yeah.
If you try to sneak in like a lemon or an orange into that, they'll tackle you at the airport.
Yeah.
But if you try to say, what have you got in the bag there? What is that? Is that Burmese python? All right, bring it in. Just make sure it fucks everything out there. Let it go out. So what happened was during Hurricane Andrew. Was when people just abandoned their homes and the roofs got blown off, and a couple of these Burmese pythons got out there, and each one of those is able to lay like 200, 300 eggs.
Yeah.
So you have like a Burmese, you put up Burmese python
a major
eating
python
alligator.
problem.
Yeah, look at Burmese python
in the
alligator.
Everglades.
Dude, I don't mess with Florida. I don't go into any bodies of water.
So here's what you got. You got 40-foot pythons out there that are literally they'll eat an alligator, and then the alligator will rip it and explode it. So it's incredible. It's not these two animals are never supposed to meet.
Well, they got Nile crocodiles. They think they have
In there?
saltwater
In
crocodiles
Florida?
because they got loose. Handlers couldn't take care of them and just let them loose in the Everglades.
Wow.
And they have had, and if you can look it up, they have found some Nile salties in the Everglades.
That's a disaster.
Which are
Nightmare.
dangerous.
Super dangerous.
Like, look at that right there. It's unbelievable. So they go hunting. Now you can get like a tag and you can go python hunting out in the Everglades.
That'd be kind of cool. I
I wouldn't feel bad about that at all. I'm not a
No,
hunter
make
of
some
stuff,
boots.
but like, if you're gonna, that animal should not be there. They have to get that, depopulate that
Look
area.
at that shit. Look at that.
Unbelievable. Well, that's the thing too. Florida's always the weird shit happens. It's in Florida.
It's
Some
always
weird
It's
kind of thing.
always in Florida.
A guy who's, the homeless guy's face. Remember that story?
Yep.
Homeless guy
Ate his
got his
face.
face eaten.
Yep.
Imagine I felt sorry for the homeless guy. He's like, hey, there's a naked guy running towards me.
Yep.
Hey, I said, what if what is he? I wonder what he wants. Maybe he's gonna try to fuck me. Well, whatever. I haven't been fucked in a long time. What are you gonna do? He's eating my face. I did not see this coming.
I didn't see this coming. But because Florida.
Look at that.
Is that real?
I don't know if that's real.
Nah, can't be real.
It's not, but
I don't
it's
know.
still pretty
But
cool.
it's still a good picture. I'm glad somebody took the time to do that. That's like a horror
Shout out to
film.
whoever did that. Definitely Photoshop. Look at the lady.
Yeah.
But there is a funny, there's I love the aerial
But that's still pretty
photographs.
big. I don't give a shit if that woman's fake or not. That's still a big fucking snake
Yeah, it's a
that's eating
giant
something.
snake. Yeah,
That's
the-
a big ass
By
snake.
the way,
If it's
by the
8
way,
feet long.
still a huge snake.
Yeah.
Still a huge snake.
Yeah. That is nuts. No, but anyway, I love nature, but at the same time, like for me at this point in my life, safari. If they got like a 4 Seasons on the edge of the safari, I'm there.
Preach, Rob. Preach,
yeah.
brother.
Man, so true.
I just
so true.
I don't want to get bit by some soot fly, and then the next thing you know, I'm like,
No, malaria. Justin
yeah.
Wren's had malaria 3 times. When I was in South Africa, we went on a very nice, sophisticated safari on what used to be an old cattle farm, and then we had dinner in the bush, meaning we pulled up and they had beautiful tents lined up, and and they were cooking.
Is there wild animals around
They
them?
were cooking the yes, and they
But
were
they got
cooking,
guys with guns
Yeah, and they were cooking. You don't even need them. They were cooking the best antelope and kudu.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, these cooks were incredible, and we had a sophisticated wild game meal.
I have no desire to do
Good
that.
wine.
I have
yeah.
no desire to do that. Pros, cons.
But
Pros.
if you're there working and you go like, well,
That
how
makes
far away
sense.
is the safari? 45 minutes? Okay. So I go there for 2 hours. I come back to my hotel. I said, I got that. You know, but I do think like that, going back to the book, The Sapiens, there is like the reason why there's like so many billions of us, I don't know if it's 8 billion human beings now, is because they were able to, at one point, not just be just hunter-gatherers, but you're able to like, they had those people doing that, and they had these people building, and then we're able to like, you know, that was
You
the
can
thing.
create nation states by growing your own food and domesticating cattle.
Yeah, but that's what happened. Like why Australia had never happened. Why the native peoples who were originally there, they had these 400 pound birds, which are basically cattle. If they would have just got them together and kept them in a barn, then they could have had like, you have to have like groups of people.
But they didn't think
These will
about
be
it.
the priests. These will be the merchants. These will be
Yeah.
the, and then you get, hey, you know what we can also do? Now we can free up these people. They can go kill those other people over there, and then we can take their shit.
Yeah.
And their women or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the whole idea.
Well,
of
what
how
do they
that
have
works.
there? They have emus and they have castuaries, I think, right?
Yeah.
Very dangerous bird.
The second one, castuaries. You said
Yep,
that
those
that's
are
the dangerous
mean.
bird. That's the real
Oh,
dangerous
oh,
one.
they'll kill
Emus
you.
are not as dangerous, but they can still hurt you.
yeah,
but they're not.
Cassowary is
Very
basically
dangerous.
a dinosaur.
Super scary.
So
yeah.
what happened was they killed all those 400-pound birds until they were extinct. The same thing like when the
so
the
you're talking
Asiatic
about-
people came over to the United States. You know, when the United States, listen to me, what an idiot. When they came over across the
Bering Strait.
The Bering Strait, yeah. They came over when a really low sea level, the ice age or whatever, and they came over. The first thing they do is they wiped out like these giant sloths because that was like a giant piece of meat right there.
Yeah.
It's basically, it just looked at you really slowly. And it's like, you know, had no defense because they had never had any.
No one's killing them, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so
Yeah.
first thing to go. So there was like, you can actually see, there was actually a giant lion that was a North American lion. That was one of the.
huge.
Yeah. The biggest one, bigger
Well, no,
than Africa.
wasn't it a
One of the
bear
first
lion?
ones to
Well,
go.
it was like a cross between a bear and a lion.
It was basically like
Of
an
a
African
lion?
lion.
bring up that.
And a saber-toothed cat. You know,
Yes.
I think the saber-toothed cat. What happened was they started killing the prey of those, and then they started killing them, and then they couldn't make it.
But it
'Cause
feels like
each-
those teeth were so.
It didn't seem
inappropriate.
Like, it didn't seem
saber tooth?
It seemed
Yeah, it
very
doesn't make
showy.
sense, does it?
It's like, basically that was to show off to the other ones. It didn't seem like it was very functional.
No, there it was.
And they were hunting the woolly mammoth, right?
But that was the American.
There's the lion, that giant.
Jesus.
What is that thing?
Right.
So that was what wreaked havoc. That last
on the
one.
far left?
Yeah, that wreaked havoc.
Okay.
It was like,
Well, that's
and it was
like
a
you're
shorter
talking-
snout and a much bigger lion. It was like the size of a fucking bear, and that caused major problems for the humans who came over.
It sucks those aren't around anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or well, they
Well,
Well,
it
you know
sucks
what
for
I'm
the people who are. Yeah, I'm sure that was like no, but it'd
be cool to see.
There were
Well,
no
yeah,
native.
yeah.
There were no native peoples like being sad when those guys went away. Said, "What?
true,
There's
right.
no more of those things eating us."
Yeah, there you go.
Wow,
American lion.
there it is. Yeah, and so that's probably went out about 13,000 years ago. That's this great thing is that the La Brea tar pits here, and there's it's just a working museum of still finding like pits of animals. And it's the thing about Los Angeles. It has had the best weather for the last 30,000 years. So every mammal that could make it to, whether they wanted to be a star or not,
like
if you were a
bugs.
saber-toothed cat, you wanted to get to L.A.
Yeah.
And that's why they found these incredible finds of like mostly wolves and predators and stuff
Yeah.
because these animals would get stuck in this
In
like
those pits,
blue
right?
tar,
Yeah.
and then there's food right there. And then they get stuck, and so
Damn, Rob, you got all this from that Sapiens book?
No,
Again,
well,
I'm about 20
La Brea
pages in,
tar
and I don't
pits.
remember any of this shit.
La Brea tar pits. You go there. It's in
gotcha.
L.A. It's great. But so when did that become extinct? That one.
Said
I had
something in
no
the
idea.
millions.
Like even Australia had like a lion.
lion.
They had like a lion that marsupial lion they called
Really?
it, or marsupial tiger. Yeah.
So it kept its young in in a
Yeah,
pouch.
and the last one that
so
they
weird.
killed them all, and the last one died like 1937. Marsupial tiger.
I
You
heard
gotta look
some.
that up.
I heard some guy on Armchair
Looked like a big
Expert
dog, basically.
on Dak Shepard's podcast saying elephants, their trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came from that because they used to be underwater animals.
They
it was a
whales.
snorkel.
Whales are closely related to hippos. I know. So
Well, whales to me
That's
is a sea
Isn't that
cow.
weird? He was saying that was that
makes sense, right?
So they go
Well,
in water.
They love
out
the water.
Whales are sea cows, basically. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, that's the Tasmanian tiger.
That thing's stupid.
Extinct.
Yeah, That was the last one.
not
It was
afraid
a
of
beautiful
that thing.
animal, huh?
Not really, huh?
I'm not afraid of that
You know what I
thing,
mean?
though, you know?
Like you're like, fuck off. You know, you see
Yeah,
that
I
and
think
you're
I'd
like,
swift kick to the face, you know, Rob?
they're like a possum.
Yeah, they're a little wiry because
Yeah.
that was the.
They're like, it's not the end of the world that they went away. If tigers went away, we'd be like, no, but those are.
Look at that mouth. Look at that mouth
it's a
right
mouth
there.
on them.
Yeah.
It's like a wolf.
But anyway, I know.
like a raccoon.
I think the diversification of the planet is important to keep that going because that's what keeps us going.
And well, so when they introduced wolves back in the Yellowstone,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing because it has created.
changed
It's
the-
actually changed the rivers,
water, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because they started killing the elk, and the elk stopped eating as much vegetation, and that gave other animals more time to produce.
Yeah. And it gave
the beavers more to chew on, and
it
everything.
gave the plants and trees.
Dude, it's Lion
the
King. It's
small
real life.
trees.
cycle of life.
The
dude.
small
Matata?
trees all of a sudden got to grow, and it did. It changed
So,
the
so the
rivers.
scientist who talked about this and proved it wants to bring lions back to Europe. And everybody's like, hold on, dude.
Whoa, take it easy,
Whoa,
man.
whoa. We can't have prides of lions in.
Well, we
Because-
do
because
have
aren't there-
we do have in like the Santa Monica Mountains here. We have like
Mountain lions.
you have to understand. Yeah, the cougars that we have here. But for one cougar, they need to have about 200 miles, literally, of
Yes.
of range.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have too many. Otherwise,
true.
that's what happens. Otherwise, they can't survive.
Did you see that mountain lion that it's been around forever? One of the bigger ones just got hit on the 405, passed away.
That's a shame. Yeah.
did?
Across the 405.
Damn it.
Well, there you go.
That's
Because they were trying to build a bridge across
Yeah.
405 so the mountain lions could make it across to the mountains and not get hit. This one was impatient.
that's
Well, yeah, that's a shame. It's a beautiful animal.
Well, that one looks pretty crazy. So,
damn it.
but
Well, they
that
found
they
one
call
in
it like
Santa Monica.
PX70 or something.
So amazing though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they survived like those fires, which were so brutal.
I know.
You know.
P61 passed away. Tried crossing Spolvita.
That's such a bummer.
Yeah.
405 is a bummer, man.
He's only 4 years old.
Yeah, it's just you want to have as much. I mean, it is beautiful wildlife, and what you can keep of it, you should try to.
It's kind of crazy. It
maintain.
lived that close to civilization. We have a lion up in there.
Oh no, they track them. There's a ton of them over there, especially where I live.
Yeah.
When we hike,
Yeah.
now there's there's always a kind of a billboard where people see mountain lions.
I feel like you gotta keep your kid a
why
little
I do
close.
think the mountain lions are important, and and that's why the wolves coming back because the coyotes, which are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You know they know
The wolves kill the coyotes though.
Yeah.
In Yellowstone, and that's been
Which is
very
good.
helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then there's more rabbits, there's more beavers, there's more.
Dude, where I'm at, the coyotes about every like 3-4 in the morning, you hear them going yeah, like
Yep.
yelling out, and they're doing a roll call.
Yeah.
They're all
Get
there's
some
a
wolves
ton
out
of
there.
them.
Get some wolves out there. Wolves make short work of them cows.
Well, I don't want a wolf either.
Let's
I
get
want-
some wolves out. Gray wolves won't bother you. Get some gray
well,
wolves
they're
out
trying
there.
to reintroduce. Where's the next place they want to reintroduce the wolves?
Nashville.
They've reintroduced them in 23 states, I think now, or like.
They're trying to bring it to
12
Colorado.
states.
That's the new one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got enough problems.
No, they'll help
No,
out.
no. They're trying. It's going to be helpful.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, you're anti-nature. You know what, dude? He's anti-diversity.
No. Me and Rob
You
are gonna
probably
start
want-
show-
you-
No.
You're anti-diversity.
No,
You
Rob
probably
wants to
want a
kill
white world,
anacondas
too.
with me in Florida. He said
Racist.
that.
What?
We were going to kill anacondas. Or
That'd be
pythons.
fine.
I would have no problem doing that. But I do think that the wolf reintroduction will be very helpful for everything in Colorado.
By the way, can we
And they can
talk?
prove that?
Can we talk a little bit about what you're up to now? That you, Adam
thank you.
Sandler. Adam Sandler
Yes.
couldn't be more relevant. You're in his movies. You guys are very close.
Yes.
But what are you doing right now? Let's talk about this.
Well, thank you. Well, I you know what's so funny? It's like for me, it's like I'm trying to figure out what I really want to do now. You know, it's like before,
done a lot.
you didn't really have like there's so many options and choices and things. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
So we started my wife and I started a podcast, and let's just do this, and these conversations that we have with each other, we can just let other people listen to. So it's called See What Happens, which is based on
Good.
See What Happens is
See
based
What
on
Happens?
my mother, like my whole child. My mother's Asian. My mother's Filipino.
Your wife's Hispanic.
My wife's Hispanic. My whole childhood, my mother is like every Filipino heard that. You see what happens? It's just basically that's why the Asians are successful. It's like, because it's very controlling. The parents expect you. Like I would get if you get good grades, you get straight A's. You go, hey mom, I got straight A's. So what? That's what you're supposed to do. That's your job. What do you want, a cookie? You do what you're supposed to do. You don't hear me going, hey, cooked and cleaned all day. What do I get? You do your job. I do my job. It keeps the relationship nice and cold. All right?
and cold.
And then, so you see what happens? You fell down. See what happens? You hurt yourself. See what happens? You broke that. See what happens? Remember one time we were playing basketball about 3 miles away from the house. Somebody twisted an ankle. All of a sudden you're, see what happened? So That's what it's called. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
so
your mom. That's your mom. See
that's
what happens?
See what happens? You leave your phone on. See what happens? You're doing Brian's podcast. See what happens. So we're doing that, and we started doing that. And it's been fun. And then I'm trying to figure out what project gonna probably figure out a movie to do.
You get a call from Sandler periodically, right? He'll
Yeah.
just be like, "Hey, dude, I want you to be in my movie." Like Tim Meadows, all those guys. They'll just get a call sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I love about him? I don't know Sandler. I've met him once. I did a reading with him. I love him because he's so fucking loyal to his friends. That
He's
guy takes
incredible.
care
I
of
don't
his
know him, but
boys.
he's one of my top 5 most influential people.
Well, I would just tell you this one story.
He's the reason I started. One of the reasons I started stand up. Yeah.
I remember David Spade and I weren't talking for a while. I don't know what happened. I just said a joke about him in Phoenix or whatever. And then, and I swear to God, Adam Sandler wrote it. He didn't get credit for writing it because other people rewrote it or whatever. But he made Benchwarmers and hired the two of us.
Yeah,
so we'd
right.
have to work together for 2 months and work it out. And we
such
did.
good-
And we've been friends ever since. That's
awesome.
But again,
So cool.
So, but like, there's just this stupid shit that you go through when you're in your late
Yeah.
30s, whatever. But
It is true. As you get older, you just don't care that much anymore.
yeah, you just like, what am I worried?
petty
What would that
stuff.
matter? I don't
Yeah.
even remember. And like, but I remember like one time on that movie, there was a guy. It was a guy talking like that, like a fucking thick Boston accent, and went fucking, this guy is fucking guy, And I just walked over and I said, okay. I didn't know he was an actor. I knew he was a comedian probably. But I said, okay, what nice thing did you do to Adam Sandler when he was 19 that he remembered you for and put you on this movie? And he said, let me tell you fucking what. There's a fucking bowling alley that we were fucking working, this young fucking kid, Adam Sandler. And I said, look, pal, you got to fucking, just get your 5 minutes together and make sure that fucking kills and then you fucking get that.
Sounds like Lenny. Was it Lenny Clark? Is that you doing Lenny Clark?
It was some other comedian, but basically like the same accent.
Yeah.
And you fucking put that together, and the next thing you know, you get your shit together, and you fucking do that shit. Before you start doing your 20, get your fucking 5, pal.
That's
Anyway,
a great. That's about as good as Southie as I've heard.
So
And you and Adam met on Saturday Night Live?
no, we were comic friends. He was like a young, like 19 or 20-year-old New York comic, and I'd heard of him. And then I got on David Letterman when I was really young, when I really didn't have more.
And did you start in Northern
San Francisco,
Cali? That's
yeah.
where you started? Like
a
at
lot of the
Cobb's
guys,
and
though,
Punchline?
if you don't move out of there early, it's over,
Dude,
You got to.
I said that to him today. I said that there are dudes that when I was in New York,
Yeah.
I saw guys hanging around the comedy clubs, and I remember going, "You're gonna be here forever. I gotta get the fuck out of here." And I got the fuck out of there.
I'm getting out of here because I
did.
see the pit that it's like, hey, it's like they've got their fans and it's working and it's comfortable. They got a nice place. They can eat at
Well,
good
one of the
restaurants
guys,
one night a week.
one of those lifers looked at me like this, like you're in jail, and I remember he waved. He was waving in the direction of what he thought was LA, and he goes, You got positive energy. Go to LA. Go to LA.
He just general.
Get out of here. Go to LA.
Yeah.
I never forgot it.
Like Cobb's and Punchline? Is that where
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just remember, and then all the best guys came through there.
Like-
and you learn from them. And Jerry Seinfeld's one of the greatest. And like he would come by and he would like tell us, like, hey, you guys, you got to take all the swearing out. He says, what? Take the swearing out. And I was going, what? He said, yeah, you take the swearing out. If it's not funny without the swearing, then it's not funny.
Yeah.
So take it out and see if it works. You can't do that on TV. This is like 1984, And then you
very
see
good-
guys and Jay Leno would come by, and he was the nicest guy. And I remember there was a manager who I had who was actually a heroin addict at the time. Great guy. He's still
Fantastic.
alive. Thank God he got over it.
Yeah.
But like he said, you go pick him up. You take him. You pick up. Make sure you're there on time. This is before before the internet, before Waze. We had Thomas Guide.
Thomas Guide.
Thomas Guide, baby. And they'd say, you had to know where
Never
you're going.
know.
Luckily, I knew San Francisco. I was like a street rat, so I knew my way around. So he said, just make sure you take him to his radio show. Make sure you take him to the gig. Make sure you're there on the airport.
What was
with
the gig,
sign.
Cobb's?
No. He was at that time, he was doing like, hey, he was on Letterman going, hey, what's your beef, Jay? Hey, let me tell you my beef. You don't need guys, I'll tell you my beef. Yeah. And that was his thing. And he started selling out. He went from clubs to like theaters. So I was picking him and I drove him around and he said, and finally about halfway through the thing, hey, you want to get some lunch? You don't want to go to Chinese restaurants or anything? I said, I know the best, Mr. Leno. And so I took him to the place that, my dad wouldn't even take me because it was too expensive. But he said, hey, my dad used to go, that place is expensive. Come on, we're going to eat over here. Just as good. You'll see, kid.
Yes.
So anyway, so he said, come on, I eat myself. Come on and eat with me. So you a comedian? I said, yes, sir. So how much time you got? I said, I got about maybe 8 minutes. He said, good. I'm glad to hear that. Most comedians ask, how much time you got? I got 2 hours. Who wants to hear 2 hours of comedy material? You either have 20. All you need to be in LA is 20 minutes to become a star. You don't have that, you don't have anything. Just get 5 minutes that kills. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. If you don't have 5 minutes that kills every time, everywhere you go, every time out, then you don't have anything. So I said, just work on your 5 minutes. So that was like the greatest advice anybody could
cool
ever
is
told
that?
me.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you. So I just, instead, what I said, nobody gave you a roadmap of how to be successful in comedy. So I just worked on the next 6 minutes. I worked on that. And Nick worked on that. And 18 months later, I performed that same bit on the Letterman show. I didn't have much more than that.
keep
And then
carving.
did you move out here, Rob, after that?
After the first, literally the next day, I moved to LA. So, okay, you got
Rob and I met each other because Rob was, we were in Fort Lauderdale. I get a call. Rob Schneider.
How long ago has this be? Give me.
Dude, this must have been 10 years ago
Yeah,
at least.
I just came back to doing stand up.
Yeah, and they said Rob
were
Schneider
nice
is
enough.
back in comedy, and they said something. He goes, "Look, I know it's your show, but can you co-headline?" He thought I'd have a problem with
Where were you at?
at the Fort Lauderdale
Yeah.
Improv, which is
Okay.
And like
was my house.
Brian
That was
is a
the best.
master.
Well,
okay.
it was
Brian, he's a master
Yeah.
of stand up. And like you
thank
see well
I had been doing it. I was at the boiling point. I was
You
I
were
was
like-
doing.
You're a road dog.
I was and I had
more
my
than a road dog because road dogs can get bitter and whatever. Brian is different because Brian is like celebrating and aware of the art form, but not bitter from it, and then making fun of the art form while he's doing it or affected by it. He knows he's there to entertain at a very high level, and he entertains from like the jokes that are interesting. He knows I want to make it interesting for the audience, and then to physicalize it and perform it. And I walked there and it was like, whoa. This is stand-up is at another level now. When you see Brian, I go,
Because
I learned so much. Thank you, because I just got back into doing stand-up, and it's like
And you
well,
met
know
one of the
what?
best in the world.
Yeah,
Off the bat.
you met a guy.
But
absolutely.
you took so much time off because of movies and Saturday Night Live?
Unfortunately, I was busy making movies and making millions of dollars.
Hey man, wait a minute. Yes, you
good
were.
problem to have.
But that's why when they said that he wants to go headline, I go, yeah, of course. Like they thought I'd be like, no, he should feature. I go, no, of course. I'll headline with Rob
Here's
Schneider.
the thing, and you know this,
of
Rob,
course.
being a stamp. It's a good thing it was Brian, because a lot of guys' egos. I know a ton of guys,
Yeah.
ton of comedians' egos, like absolutely not.
Oh fuck that.
You know how they,
I'll tell
you know
you
how
though.
these be.
But the thing
yeah,
about it was
yeah.
like,
I would have said no.
Yeah.
thank you. But the thing about it was.
Joke.
It's something that you have. I respect the art form too much to just like do a victory lap with it. If I'm going to do it, I want to be the best at it and only do it. And the only way to do that is you have to jump into it
Reps.
because
You're
while
still
I was
doing it
making
now, right?
movies,
You're still doing a lot of
while I
stuff,
was
yeah.
making movies and stuff, I wasn't doing stand up, and I like I said, I didn't want to just do it just to make some money or just to do that. Even though
made you
can
come
make a lot
back?
of money? Well, I said because in the back of my mind, I was like, I still never got to the point where I felt I was great at it. I never got to that. Like you'd watch these other guys. You see Bill Burr. You see Brian. You see like Sarah Silverman. You see Chappelle at this incredible level. Like there's always been great stand-ups. Don't get me wrong. But it's still a relatively young art form. It's like spoken word jazz, and it's just like jazz. Just like rock and roll, this is an American art form.
Yes, it is.
And it's a spoken word jazz, and it's still like if you're talking from the 50s to now, you're talking 65 years in, and there's always been great comics. There's never been as many at their peak at the same time
Correct.
when it's been needed in this time of unbelievable amounts of censorship, unbelievable amounts of like people stuck in their dogmatic ways of thinking, and we have great comedians, thankfully, like Bill Burr's new special, Dave
amazing.
Chappelle's new special,
Chappelle's great.
and it just knocks. What it does is it gets most people are not dogmatic in their thinking. They're open-minded,
Correct.
and they're just like
Exactly.
it's the loud mouths, and it's the people who have access to immediate outrage, and that's the
Social media.
and so
Couldn't agree more, Rob.
that is what
Comics
the
have a
perception
place
is.
now.
Yes, that's the perception. So you have unfiltered, real opinions about stuff that you're not getting anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's so true, dude.
So now you're back on tour.
Oh yeah,
like
I've
you're
been
doing
doing it for
reps.
10 solid years since then.
yeah, dude.
And
I
you
know.
gave me a
haven't
great
stopped.
roadmap of like, and I feel like
We had a good time
now-
that weekend, by the way.
That was a lot of fun. But it was also funny because you could see because you were like, I was like watching you, and I was really like, you were having so much more fun than me because you had like, it was like
Well, you
had,
got me
you had
when I
so
was-
many places to go.
Yeah, well, you got me when I was literally doing that 1 hour that was at the boiling point. Like I knew, I've been
Yeah.
doing. I had it.
There's no
down,
place you couldn't
and that's
go.
my house. That place is my house. I remember.
is it still
this
there, Ben?
motherfucker's
Is it
so
still
brave.
there?
I remember. I knew I was going to be. I knew that I was.
killing. You're
it's
killing.
my house.
Yeah.
That especially for a lot of. And he goes, "You go on first. I'll go on second. And I go, and he was much more famous. But I was like, Rob, I didn't say it, but I was like, I don't think that's a great idea because
You're doing him-
I'm
you're
gonna
doing him a solid.
I'm going to set that place
Yeah,
on
you're doing him a
fire,
solid.
and then you're going to have to go. And you're great, but you just haven't been doing it as long. You're just getting back in the ring. And he was so famous. He's so famous. I wasn't. I didn't want to. So he goes. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. I get off stage and he looks at me. I remember you said to me, you go, you're a fucking flamethrower.
Yes.
And I go, I told you. And you still went up and did well.
And this is back to the point where it couldn't have been a better guy to do it, Rob, because Brian's one of the only guys in comedy who think like that and will take care of you. It's like, remember when we were first doing shows together and I was doing comedy for, I don't know, maybe 3 months, and we were doing a show, I forget where it was at, some casino, big casino, and they want to put this killer like seasoned comic on before me.
Yeah, no.
And they go, well, you guys aren't going to get paid. And I went, oh, okay. I used to always open the show, then Brian would go.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay, well, I won't get paid. That's fine. Have him on. And then you get word of it and just nix the whole thing.
Yeah.
You went, that's not happening. My friend's been doing stand for 3 months. Who's this guy? He goes, how long you been doing? He goes, 15 years. He goes, it's not happening. You're not doing that.
No.
You're not doing that to
Yeah.
my guy.
No.
He's
You
going to
gotta
go and do his
protect him.
thing.
That's true.
And I come out.
Yeah.
I just
You gotta
remember, at the
protect him.
time, I didn't realize how big of a deal that was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'll be fine.
Yeah, but
I didn't realize.
you were a neophyte. You're new in this thing. It's also there's like a certain rhythm that you know the audience and you know what's
Yeah.
going to happen, and he wants to
Yeah.
make it a good experience for you.
Yeah.
Because when you're progressing from an early place, it's important that you don't get so knocked.
Yeah.
That it takes
Yeah.
you 6 months or a year to recover.
Correct,
Because
Rob.
it's hey, look, stand up, and you know this, and the
Yeah.
great stand-ups like. You see these guys commit suicide or whatever, and you go like, "Oh God, how could he do it?" If you've been in this business long enough, you go, "How did it take him so long?" Jesus Christ, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like because it comes at a psychic price. So it's very important that Brian looked out for you and said like, "Hey, dude, he's not. Let's not give him a hit right now. That's going to take him back to where he's building up slowly." So that was really
Yeah,
nice.
let's
of you.
take
Yeah.
care of each other,
just-
especially if it's somebody who's a performer and who loves to do it. And there's no, it's not like I'm a flamethrower. I'm just doing it a lot. You're just coming back.
But the best were
What are we
always the
talking
nicest.
about?
The best guys are always, and they also respect the people. And there's sometimes if you see a comedian that's like, it's not professional, and like, fuck that guy. But if you know a guy who's really working and trying to build themselves
Yeah.
up, then it's your, it's your, as an artist, it's your, you've been lucky enough to get into a position that if you can help somebody, give them a little something, a little
But
lift.
some
up.
guys would go, no, let him go out there and eat shit.
Ugh,
It's good
I hate
for him."
that stuff.
But it's good to have somebody better than you to play tennis to get better at it. Like for instance, like I remember when Adam Sandler first have like $100 million movies, and he said, "I'm going to go see my new friend today." And I said, "Okay, come on." I said, "Who is it?" Go, we'll figure it out. So I'm driving him with Bel Air, bigger homes. Like holy shit, the bigger home, like another gigantic bigger home. And he goes, "Bing, ding, ding," on this gigantic fence. The fence that's got like it's got plants on it that are groomed. Holy shit, who's got a? Where the fuck are we going?
I went to
Next thing you know-
Sharon Stone's house like that. I was like, what the fuck?
There's another level. I had no.
Oh,
fucking-
are you royalty? Or?
There's like rich people, and they're fucking rich people. So this is like, and it was Dustin Hoffman's house. And we're going there, too. And he said, like, and we played basketball, and he just got a new basketball thing. This is like 20 years ago, and he's playing, and his son was out there, and whatever, and I just remember at that time I was in better shape, and I blew by him, and the next thing I said, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then he went in the house. He said, "Fuck, I don't want to play with you guys anymore." But anyway, he was talking to us, and he's saying, you guys got to, play with better people. You got to get directors who are better than you. Otherwise, if you're just doing it, you got to. It's like tennis. You got to play somebody who's hitting the ball harder than you, better than you. Learn
That's
some
the
new
only way to
spins,
get
new
better.
hits. And he's right. You have to do that. So I would say, like right now, there are like. It's like Jerry Seinfeld said, like in the 80s, well, 1975, there were 40 comedians and 8 of them were good.
Yeah.
In 1985, there were 4,000 comedians and 8 of them were good. So, but you have real masters at it that are really at the high
Decades in.
level. I got to look at this as stand-up as like rock and roll, like in the 60s, where you had the Beatles, you also had the Kinks, and you had the Who.
There's so many,
You had the
man.
Doors, and you had so you have
You're
like,
reading a book about that, right?
Oh, yeah.
What was it? Why was there a renaissance then? Because did they feel like they were changing the world with their music, or what?
Well,
was it?
you had a lot of things going on. You have to understand that's like art is like a tree. There's like a lot of branches on it. It ain't just one. Tree just doesn't go up here. It's
Right.
Like this. And so you had like very interesting time in 1961, 62, where you had like the sexual revolution, and that came from an ending of censorship because the censorship ended by when they first started Henry Miller's book Tropic of Cancer.
Yeah, good book.
Was able to come over. Ken
Yeah.
Casey's
People
book.
had something to say.
So what happened was these
think,
books were
you know
coming
what I'm
over
saying?
anyway. Well,
And they
these
thought
books
they
were
could
coming
make a
over. So
difference with what they said too.
They thought they were
optimistic.
changing,
They were
yes.
optimistic enough to believe that their music and what they had to say.
And
there was
people
a
were paying
rebellion.
attention, though.
And people were
that
being
sick
drafted.
of like, when Elvis, it's like John Lennon said, when Elvis died, he didn't die when he was 42. He died when he joined the army. You know, when he became part of it. And then, you know, music kind of got really safe after that. And then, like, you had, like, you know, it's my party and I've cried. And he went from, like, Elvis, you know, Elvis, like, you know, being, you know, don't you step on my blue suede shoes to, like, it's my party and I cry. So it was like, music was ready, and then Buddy. It was perfect timing because Buddy Holly died in '59.
They all died like at 27 too, right? Like Buddy Holly, Otis Redding.
Buddy Holly was 22.
Janis Joplin.
He had 20.
Kurt
he had
Cobain,
20 top
Jim Morrison.
number one hits, I think.
Find out what musicians died at 27.
Oh, it's the 27 curse. It's Kurt Cobain,
Janis Joplin,
Jimi Hendrix,
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison, yeah.
I mean, it's like.
But anyway, so you had
Amy
this,
Winehouse.
You had this, you know, incredible things happening at the same time, and then rock and roll just kind of came through. And people were ready
Laurel
for it.
Canyon,
then you had a bunch
Ashbury.
so many young people and teenagers who wanted something.
Yeah, man. They were looking for something different. But what is that book you're reading, 1968, or what's it
Brian
called?
Jones is 27 too?
It was. It's on Laurel Canyon. All the bands.
So I do think now you have like these incredible comedians that are like at that high
finished
level.
a while ago.
Yeah.
So
Mamas and
I'm
Papas.
working on it to be one of them. You know, it's been taking 10 years, and I think it's like that thing about like, you know, you got to be in there several thousand hours.
Where do you do most of your spots at?
Have you done a
Rob?
special yet?
I did, but I wasn't proud of that one. I felt like I did it,
okay.
and like, but this one that I'm working on now, I feel like, you know, is just it's going to be at a really high quality, high level.
Where do you do most of your reps at, Rob?
You know what? Believe it or not, like I love working in LA, and it really is. The Comedy Store is the most important comedy club in the world, the one right here.
Yes.
And you know what? They just never had enough money in the old days to ruin it.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a club. It's like this Columbus. It was like Improv. It was great. You know, it's like kind of a restaurant. And then it wasn't that great. I mean, the room didn't look that great, but it was perfect. The energy in there. And it's we fixed it. We got a real club, and it ain't as good.
Yeah.
They ruined. Well, that never happened to the store.
It stays the same.
The store has been
man.
like a dumpy dive, and that's what you need. You need the audience to hide, and it's perfect. So it's a great place if you can get it out of your own head that they're
the
not
greats.
judging you
Yeah.
to try stuff. And like it's interesting, you see the greatest comics in the world to go up there, and it's a little in their head that they're being judged. It's a little bit, right?
Well, you don't
feel
see
that?
a lot of comics do new material there.
Yeah, which is
some of
good.
them do. Rogan, Burr will go up
That's
there.
what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do. But a lot of guys, especially if it's like Tuesday night where it's killers, like the other night when it was freaking Jesselnick, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn.
Oh, yeah,
for
you're
me to go
intimidated.
before them and do all new material while they're doing hitters,
No, you don't.
it's
No.
tough, man.
Well, the thing is, you can do like the greatest things. When I got, you know, who talked me into doing it? Truthfully, talking me back into doing it was when I was doing Grown Ups, which in 2009, and Chris Rock said, you know, you got to get back up there and do it, man. And I
one
said,
of the
well, you're the
greats.
best at it. And I don't know how. I'm never going to be as good as you. He said, no. He said, you could be the best at this. You could be, you know, and you just got to do it. I said, I don't know what I talk about. Just talk about what you're talking to me every day.
Life.
Just the way he would approach things,
Yeah.
and what he would talk about, and the way he would come at it from a new angle.
He's
And then-
fearless.
and then-
I've seen him write Full House. I've
Chris
seen
Rock?
him right on stage.
He came up on
Fearless.
stage with me. Like I
He
was.
wasn't afraid that silence.
He's a guy who would do all new shit.
He came up right after the Boston bombing. Okay, I was on stage performing. I wasn't talking about it. And he
Where
came-
at, Rob?
I was at upstate. It was in New York, like Nyack or something like that. There's a nice club
Nyack.
up there.
Yeah,
and all of a
West
sudden, I
Nyack.
see this guy, like, you know, because they're always looking, trying to figure out what's happening. You're thinking of the next thing. You're thinking of, okay, did they dig that one? Physically, what am I going to do next? You know, and then all of a sudden, at the corner of my eye, I see somebody's walking on the stage from the left side, and I said, "Who is what?" You know, and like, is this guy going to stab me? Is this guy going to attack me? Is this guy going to? Is this the bouncer? Is there a fire? All the stuff that goes through your head when there's somebody walking on the stage who you can't really see. And it was Chris Rock coming on stage. And I just said, oh my God. And the place went crazy. And I just handed him the mic. And he just was right after. And he did that joke about like, you know, the Boston bombing. You know where they put the bomb at the end, at the finish line. Can you imagine? And I go, where's he going with this? He said, they imagine that you run 26 miles and then somebody yells, run. And I went like, oh my God.
It's a great
He's
joke,
a genius.
That's hilarious.
And this guy, and then he did like
Yeah.
another 10 minutes. And like the thing about it, and I remember because at the same time, because I got back into doing this in social media. So like, you know, the shit that like you can get from whatever, if you make a mistake of a tweet, of a joke, whatever. And I just remember calling him because he was got so much shit off doing this one routine on Saturday Night Live. And I called him and I said, dude, I said, like, that was a hilarious joke. And I said, I can't believe that anybody would have a problem with that. And he just said, fuck him.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Like, I just like, Why are you even looking at that shit? And it's the same thing like Louis
Bill
C.K.
Burr said that to me the other
So
day.
why are you even
He goes-
looking at that?
he goes,
Yeah,
"But you
Louis
can say
C.K.
anything you want. It's 8 people on Twitter. Fuck them.
Yeah, but there's this false perception because remember in the old days when this is what I talk about in my act. I go like, remember in the old days when you were complaining, you had to complain for a long time before anybody realized that you were angry about
Yeah.
something. It took
Yeah.
now there's just immediate there's immediate in your magic phone to express outrage.
It's the
Before
cult-
when
it's
you were
the
pissed, you
cult
had to
of
get a
the
piece
amateur.
Remember you used to get a piece of paper and a pen, and you had to get an address. You had to call. And ding 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 ring ding ring ding ding. I'm fucking pissed. I'm Schneider fucking choke. And then you had to make an investment. You had to buy a stamp. You had to leave your house.
Mark
and get a
Maron,
fucking
Mark Maron
jacket
said
on.
that he made. Mark Maron said he was talking about Jesus and making fun of Jesus, and this woman in the front goes, you cannot talk about Jesus that way. And he goes, oh, I can, and I will. So he keeps going.
He's a beast.
They get up and leave. And the guy calls the next day and he wants to sue the club for
God.
defamation.
Oh,
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
and he's
me
like,
tell you.
because you're defaming Jesus Christ.
But
It's
the
like,
thing
all
about
right.
that's why the fucking free speech is the whole ball of wax. Anybody like I
my
can't believe that's
God.
being attacked on the left side. You can't talk about everything. The thing about like this, you can't talk about politics. It's like politics is everything. Politics is the road you drive on, the food you eat, the water you drink.
But also, what
It's
they'll
all
do
politics.
is the truth is that there are a lot of people who are very intolerant on both sides, of course. But
Oh, yeah.
for the first time on the left,
They're talking
they
the
will
same
censor
language,
you.
just back to back,
But they will
facing the other
stay-
way.
yeah,
No one's
they
listening.
will censor you. They will you will lose your job. You will
Yeah.
get shadow banned.
If you
That's
do,
what it seems like it's happening.
If you do have a strong opinion about something, the other side of that will try to ruin you. Absolutely, it is but at this point, people know that, and people are getting hip to the fact that, like, there is it's a culture of destruction. It's
Yes.
a culture of
Young
cancel
people.
culture or
Yes.
whatever you want to call it.
People
But
are getting hip to it, though,
They're
to your
getting hip
point.
to it.
They are getting
But you
hip.
have to like.
You saying they're not?
They are.
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh,
people
yeah, yeah.
are
People like, hey,
if I don't
hey.
pee out of my
I gotta pee
dong,
hard
I'm gonna
too.
be in trouble.
Okay,
Let's take a pee break.
I got a pee too.
we should start recording. This is gonna be good.
We're like, are you ready now, Rob? That was fun.
Recording.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, let me sign us out. This was awesome. This is 2 hours. You're awesome. I can't believe I looked at my clock.
Okay, that was fun.
Well, Rob Schneider, I've got to go do a reading.
Okay, get to it, buddy. This was fun.
We appreciate you, Rob.
awesome.
Yeah, man. Good
What
luck
a-
with your
great to
podcast,
see you.
brother.
Thank you. Yeah, see what happens is the podcast, and I really appreciate learning what you guys are doing here. And thanks so much for showing me the ropes, pal.
Anytime, brother.
Good to see you, man.
Rob Schneider, ladies and gentlemen.
That it, B?
That's it. I got to go.
You're gonna be in Tampa,
I just
though.
got a text.
You're gonna be in
You're-
Tampa
you're late
soon?
to the
Where?
reading.
You're in Tampa
says
soon?
Sony. I'm going to be in Tampa, September 27th and 28th.
Where?
And at the Tampa Improv.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And I'm in Houston 20th and 21st next week, and then after that, Denver Comedy Works downtown 26th to the 29th. I think.
I'm going to be at the great club in
What city?
Come on, this weekend. Where am I?
Give
gonna
me
be
a city.
Come on, it's Florida. It's Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh,
the Comedy
nice.
Zone, which is fun.
Comedy Zone,
Super
Rob
fun.
Schneider in Jacksonville, Florida this weekend. Go see him or die.
This is the Fire Kid. We're out.